Okay, we'll play some basic fantasy role-playing today, and this is going to be the continuation of last time's session, the search for the missing gnome. Although now we're on will probably be the conclusion, taking place in Rodemus Keep. This is like a small abandoned keep to the north of where the party is in the town of Dale. So why don't we do a quick reintroduction of your characters. We also have a new character this time playing with us, and then I'll read some background information and we'll get started. So, starting with my left, with Andrew, tell us about Alondril or Gar, whichever one you're playing.
Oh yeah, one sec, sorry, I was setting up I am playing Gar, who is a level 1 human fighter, wears leather armor, fights with a longbow and short sword. He fancies himself something of a ranger/scout. He was suggested to help the party by Alondril, who was called away on certain clerical duties she could not disclose.
Very cool. Yeah, maybe we can assume Alondril was escorting Valineth to the Magi Circle or something, Circle of Magi. So yeah, next we'll go to Micah's character, Nurel. Tell us about Nurel.
Nurel is a pretty young centaur, female. Long blonde hair, or mane. And yeah, she can't wear armor because she's so young. And, well, what is she carrying for weapons? A long sword and a longbow. And she encountered the party in the dungeon. What was it? Castle?
Yeah, it was like some ruins.
Ruins, and the ruins in search of adventure.
Awesome. Yeah, she replaced, who was it, Druzzle?
Doozle! Rest in peace.
The poor goblin who was impaled with many arrows. So next up we have Hal. Tell us about Finrod.
Basically, kind of like Andrew's character, because he stole mine, because I'm cool. So it's but mine is an elf, kind of ranger, typical ranger elf, ranger with leather and short sword and longbow. And the backstory for him is left his noble family, who was very arrogant and didn't like how elves treated other classes of people and thought they were better. So he left that world to become a good citizen in the world and help people.
Very nice. And finally, last but not least, Dennis, tell us about Grinscar, the Necromancer.
Grinscar is a half-orc. He was born with a misshapen leg, which led him to seek power through the dark arts rather than with the might of a weapon. And his basic goal is he's searching for any dark secrets of power that he can find to make himself more powerful.
Very cool. Should be a very interesting addition. So, I think with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'll read a quick introduction, set you guys up at the keep, and you can have at it. So, here you find yourselves in the Laughing Dragon Inn, the inn from the first session. And after a good night's rest, you head downstairs for some breakfast. And when you walk down, you're surprised to see Luke Maddens, who is the town's captain of the guard. You see Fonkin, the gnome, who you rescued last session, and the inn's proprietor, John Wolfsbane. They're all sitting down at a table quietly amongst themselves. It seems like they've been waiting for your group, and they gesture for you all to join them at the table. It also seems to be the only table occupied at the moment. So it's either a really slow morning, which is unusual, or they're keeping other patrons out for a most mysterious reason. They have some notes laid out in front of them, and a casual glance shows that the notes are hinting at Rodemus Keep. They also mention the ruins and things that you visited last time. And as you approach, Fonkin stands up to address you. And he says, It seems that once again the town, and more importantly the barony, have need of your services. It's much to my dismay, the map that, was stolen from me that you found from Volanoth will turn out to be a cursed scroll, and, caught in my hands, and he holds up his little gnome hands, and they're wrapped in bandages, and the fingertips are, like, blackened and things. And he says, the real map, you must find it. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could prove disastrous to the barony. And then Captain Madden stands up and motions for Fonkin to be quiet, and he says, oh, I would have sent my troops to go retrieve this map, but lately we're being harried out by bandits and goblinoid bands from the north and east, and we've committed most of the guard to keeping the road safe. It almost seems that these raids were timed with the theft to keep us occupied and unable to pursue the map. That's why we want you to hunt down and find the map, the real map. Thanks to the questioning, and he kind of gives a knowing glance to you, of Volanoth, we have an idea where the map was taken. And Fonkin kind of puts his head down whenever the captain says questioning, probably implying that she was interrogated quite harshly. And they say, we want you to travel far to the north, along Dragon Lake. You'll find an abandoned keep. It's been overrun by orcs and hobgoblins, and we believe that's where Gurk, the hobgoblin leader, is holed up. We think he's found the map. We think that he stole it, and that it's somewhere up there. And so, at that, if you guys have any questions, they sit down and, welcome you to breakfast and things.
How far away is this place?
It's about a full day's travel to the north.
Yeah, so I'll sit down, and Gar's a really old man. Spring chicken, I guess, by adventure standards, but really, really old. So he'll look across to John Wolfsbane and Luke, the captain of the guard, and he'll say, I don't suppose you'd be willing to allot us horses or some form of travel? Hmm?
Yeah, and Captain Luke Matine will he'll look over to John Wolfsbane, who will nod, and he'll say, yes, we could procure some travel animals for you, as long as you bring them back in one piece. Kind of lowers his gaze a bit.
Yeah, he'll slowly nod his head. Thank you.
And Fonkin chimes in and says, ooh, and I want you to have these, and he places two small red vials on the table, kind of murky-looking vials, and he pushes them forward, and he says, perhaps these 2 healing potions will become useful as you enter the keep. His little hands are pushing them towards you.
My withered, liver-warted hand will lay down on top of them and then shakily push them across the table to Neural and Finrod and say, when you are as old as I, you are a bucket with many holes in it. No sense in trying to patch this up. Why don't you two take them?
I thank you, my good sir.
Fonkin nods and says, oh, I wish there was more that I could do, but I'm afraid I'm so tied up with trying to recover from Volanoth's treachery. But hopefully it will help you.
There is one thing, my lord, for I fear this adventure shall be my last. Tend to my burial.
The guard nods his head and says, oh, if you complete this task for us, I promise you only the highest of burials, the one that I would give my most trusted men.
Yeah, he's very pleased with that. His reward has now been procured.
Don't talk like this. We will all survive.
And Fonkin just kind of looks down at his little feet and says, oh yes, much like the goblin who is with you.
Poor little fellow. You're right. We have to be careful.
And John Wolfsbane, the proprietor of the inn, the innkeeper, will say, yes, and do feel free to load up your saddlebags with rations and water skins, and I'll even give you some wine skins if you want. Arrows and things could easily be procured from the from Balon's arms across the way, and he points out through the window there, and across the town square there's an arms dealer. And then he says, and yes, so please do not hesitate to ask for any assistance before you make off.
I have to go shopping. Neural will leave the tavern and don't eat for breakfast because I don't know, she needs some arrows urgently. Got only 5 left.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You ask the question.
I have a question. What's the name of the guy who's sending us on the quest? I'm sorry, I forgot already.
No, not a problem. It's a mixture of Fonkin, the gnome from last time. He wants you to recover the map.
Right.
As well as, let's see, let me type his name out. It's Luke Maddens, and he's the captain of the guard.
I'd like to ask them a question, Luke and Fonkin, if they have any information about the keep on the journey, if they're...
Yeah, definitely. They can, basically, Luke Madden would start talking and say, yes, the keep, well, it's quite an ancient keep. It's been around for generations. It stands at the north edge of the Landcrest Woods, which is probably familiar to you as that's where the ruins were. It sits right up against Dragon Lake. It's been there for many years. It was built by the Rodemus family, a bunch of petty lords, but for generations they called the forest their home. He continues and says, they even built a warren of catacombs under the keep to bury their dead. It's quite an unlucky place, and as of lately, orcs and hobgoblins and bandits have, tried to take it over, and different factions have held it. It's given us much trouble.
Okay.
And yeah, anyone who wants to go to Balon's Arms across the way can do so, and you'll be able to, go through his wares at a pretty nice discount.
All right, I'll go.
Gar will take note of Grinscar's face as he hears that there's a legion of undead buried in the catacombs beneath this place we're going.
Yeah, you'll see a twinge on the side of his mouth as it curls into a smile briefly. Then he catches you eyeing him, and he goes back to being stone-faced.
Yeah, I'll do that sour look that old people do when they shift around their teeth behind their gums.
Keep it up, old man, and I can make use of you yet.
He'll get a little bit of a grin and he'll say, "You better not disturb my burial."
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. And he gives you a smile that shows the edge of his sharp teeth.
Awesome. And Finrod and Neural, you guys are, I guess, approaching. Y'all are now entering Balon's Arms. It's a pretty standard arms shop. He has, melee weapons, missile weapons, various odds and ends, lots of arrows, quivers and things. He greets you as you enter, and he's kind of a short, white-haired old man with a leathery face, and he says, "Oh, welcome. You must be the brave adventurers who rescued that pesky little gnome. Quite a troublemaker, that one."
Oh, yes, indeed. And we are in need of some more arms, or in my case, some more arrows. We will need them.
Oh, yes, I have plenty of arrows. because of your fine service to the town and finding the gnome and bringing some more safety to us, I'll give you a good deal and some arrows. And he walks over to where all the arrows are lying about and says, "Now, do you have a short bow or a long bow?"
A longbow.
Ah, not bad. And he says, I'll give you for each longbow, I'll charge you one gold piece rather than two. Does that sound fair?
Longbow or arrow?
Longbow arrows, excuse me.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'll take 30.
Excellent. And he strings those up for you and places them on the counter. And you, good sir, Elf, what would you like?
I would like to know if you have any magical-oriented weapons that would work against the undead.
He kind of pouts a bit and says, "Oh, magical weapons are few and far between at Balin's arms, I'm afraid. However, I do have a few vials of holy water, if that sounds interesting."
And what is this holy water supposed to do?
He kind of strokes his chin and looks at it with squinted eyes and says, "Well, I'm not exactly sure, but it's supposed to do maybe some kind of ill towards the undead. If you're going up to the keep, it could be useful."
How much is this holy water?
For an adventurer such as yourself, let's just say 5 gold pieces.
Okay, I will take the holy water. I appreciate your services.
And he gladly wraps it up and hands it to you.
And I take the holy water and give him this 5 gold.
Excellent. Puts it in a little coin purse at his waist. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? And he kind of shoots his beady eyes back and forth between the two of you.
Not for me, thank you.
Thank you, good man. And she leaves the shop.
Cool. Now, what about, I guess, Gar and Grinscar? You guys probably are set for the adventure.
Yeah, I've got everything I need.
Same.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, at that, you guys would, get your belongings together and find yourselves heading out of the town of Dale, heading north along the main road. And like I said, it's going to be about a full day's travel to get to Dragon Lake and get to Rodemus Keep. As you travel, you make it there by about, let's say, 6 p.m. A little bit of daylight left. No encounters on the road. You do pass up the Maincrest Woods, which is where the keep was tucked away from last adventure. But even further past that, you do come across what you believe is Rodemus Keep. It's just a massive stone keep. It looks like it's been sitting there for ages. And I guess as you approach, you see what looks like, perhaps 30 feet away, 2 human-like creatures bent over something. You can't quite make out what it is. That's where I'll leave you guys.
Go look at Ride has been pretty hard on his constitution. He is really old and looks like he's erect like a board, bouncing off the saddle of the horse, barely able to keep himself on it. And he'll come to a stop and say, "Do my eyes deceive me, or has some poor traveler been beset upon by brigands?"
Uriel takes out her longbow and knocks an arrow. Possible. She squints.
Yeah, and you wouldn't probably be able to make out exactly what it is, but these 2 hunched over tallish creatures are quite busy on whatever is on the ground in front of them.
Yeah, Gar will default to Finrod because he's a much younger, better eye-sighted man, and he'll say,
Finrod, what do you see with those keen hawk eyes of yours?
Can I do like a perception check or something to better see what we're looking at?
Yeah, I'll just say because you're an elf, you probably have much better sight at that. And you can see the backs of these two things. They look like ghouls, and it looks like they're eating maybe a goblin or some other kind of small creature, ripping away at the flesh.
So I tell my party, it looks like to me these fiendish creatures are ghouls, and they are eating another fiendish creature, possibly a goblin.
Well, then, if they're occupied, we are lucky. Maybe we could pass them without alerting them.
Well, I got a bow, you got a bow, we all have bows. There's only two. If you guys want to try to hit them, we can, or if you want to sneak, we can. I'm open to any suggestion.
We've got a lot of bows, yes, but we've got an old one with us.
My bow arm is strong.
As you wish, old one.
What do you guys think? What should we do?
Gar would kind of, I think, agree with you, Finrod.
I think we should seize the opportunity while it presents itself. And a fire!
What say you, Grinscar?
I say it's better to have them dealt with now than come upon us later.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
Can we sneak up on them?
Yeah, you can roll to sneak. Their backs are facing you right now, and they're pretty invested in devouring this goblin.
Or, other question, how far are they away now?
Yeah, about 30, 35 feet from where you guys are.
Oh, that's okay. Right. Okay. Well, I am ready if you are.
Yeah, and anybody who wants to can take a freebie shot at them.
Sure. How far would you say we are, Marcus, from our current position?
Yeah, about 30 or 35 feet, plus
Oh.
or minus.
Nice, okay.
What do we roll again? D20s, alright?
To hit, yes.
Okay.
And then add your to hit bonus as well as your dex if you're shooting this one.
Ooh, I got a 22.
18.
Awesome. Yeah, so y'all can both roll damage. Which y'all want to aim at different ones or the same one?
Preferably different ones.
Yeah, I'll aim at the right one, the right ghoul.
Cool. And yeah, y'all can both roll damage.
Hell yeah, 8 points of damage.
I do 6.
Oh yeah, y'all can each separately describe how you fell these two hungry ghouls.
Yeah, so I'll shakily, like a man with arthritis, pull the arrow with the black fletching out of my quiver, put it on the bow. You can hear it like clunking against the wood as I pull it back. And you see my body tremble like it's going to come undone, like a ball of yarn. And I say, "Hey, carefully now." God! And I let go, and you hear this long slice, and the arrow just plummets into the ghoul's eye socket and pokes out the back of his head. The arms go flying up, and he just goes right back into the ground in the mud.
Awesome.
And Neural is staring at him while he's aiming and squinting and just waiting for his shot to happen. And she's surprised as he actually hits the ghoul. She nods and loses her arrow, just copying his move.
You look at me and you nod, and I say,
Blast! I was aiming for the goblin!
Awesome. Very cool.
Can I try one?
Yeah, they're both dead. You can.
Oh, they're both dead. Oh, I thought I spaced out. Never. It's good. It's all cool then.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so these two ghouls go down in that most delicious way, and so yeah, they're about 30 feet out from where they were with the body of the goblin, and y'all are free to approach.
I approach quietly.
Yeah, as y'all get closer, and Finrod in particular, being an elf, you would notice that the air, starts just gets this like eerie like chill about it, and things get much quieter as you approach the entryway there to the keep. And as you walk up, you see this dead goblin. He's devoured to all hell. These ghouls did quite a number on him. They were working on his stomach before y'all killed him. And around his neck, or what's left of it, he has a pouch, like a leather pouch around his neck. Aside from that, the entry to the keep is probably about 10 feet from there in front of you. Just a large wooden door.
Can I examine the pouch?
Yeah, absolutely. If you would pick it up, you would open it, you would find a note inside, and it's written in a pretty terrible bit of script, but you can read it. And it says, Mirth. I have been losing troops left and right since we got here, and the worst news is I lost the damned map. I think these things are coming out of these catacombs, chum, and they ain't alive. Last night we was attacked, and when we finally drove them undead buggers off, the map was gone. I found an entrance to the catacombs here in the keep, and I have sent some boys below to find the map, but I ain't heard from them since. I'm not stepping foot in those damned catacombs until I get some damn reinforcements from you or another damn tribe. You should be glad I'm even sticking around. A lot of the boys are talking about panicking and packing up, and if we don't hear from you, I don't know what in the abyss is down in those catacombs, and I for one ain't itching to find out. And it was signed by Girk.
Well, let's say that since you read it out loud, that while you were reading it out loud, it was me, so my companions can understand what's going on here and understand that the map is here and that these horrible creatures have taken it away from the goblins, and down in the catacombs we shall have to go to face our fate.
Once he has removed the pouch and is reading the note, Grinscar will limp and shuffle, pulling his misshapen leg over to the goblin corpse. With a soft groan and a thud, he'll kneel down beside it, lay one hand on its chest, what's left of the mangled thing, and lean down and whisper in its ear, casting the corpse servant spell to animate it.
Awesome. Easily done. And I guess after you're done, casting this spell, the goblin's eyes would open up and his kind of mangled body would start standing.
I'll, using the sky for balance, I will push to my feet and unshoulder my heavy pack and slip it over the neck and shoulders of the creature. And kind of roll my shoulders with a light and weight and turn to the others.
Now, how heavy is this pack, more or less? I don't need an exact number. I mean, is it pretty large? Or?
I can tell you, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, it's about, well, it doesn't have my weapons, so about 20 pounds or so.
Okay, so it's not like a terrible amount for this little goblin, although whenever you sling it around his neck there, it kind of bows him back just a little bit, and as it does that, his guts continue, like, bursting from his, like his intestines come out a little bit more and some gore and things, but he's standing.
Get a hold of yourself, man. I'll kind of straighten him and then instruct him to follow me.
You just kind
Maybe
of...
you Ooh.
Your headset, okay?
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, all good. I was just gonna say, to Dennis, just like the goblin just stares at you with a blank face and falls in line.
So the paper has a like marked entrance to the catacomb.
Yeah, the entrance is just probably about 10 feet in front of you guys, just a large wooden door across a little drawbridge.
Okay. Yeah, I will turn to Fenrod and say,
If into the catacombs we must go, I am ready to follow you, Master Elf.
Oh, I am no master, but I appreciate your faith in me. And with my short sword at the ready, we shall adventure together and face whatever comes toward us. And don't forget, my companions, I do have that special holy water in case it can come in handy.
yeah, following your inspiration, I'll pull out my sword as well and say,
If my death can serve you, I will make it so, my friend.
You are a gracious companion.
Cool. So yeah, y'all want to approach the whatchamacallit there, the door?
yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's
Carefully.
just oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's just a massive wooden door. Doesn't appear to be locked. Does appear quite heavy.
Do we need to do a roll for this?
Nope, you can just try to open it.
Okay, everyone, get ready. I will slowly open the door.
The large wooden door to the keep creaks open, and in front of you is a large entry hallway containing really nothing but dust, refuse, random crap thrown about. It does look like there's some obvious tracks on the ground, various shapes and sizes going in and out. Moving from this door to the one at the far end of the hallway.
Is there light in here, or is it dark?
It's kind of dark.
Mm-hmm. So, will my dark vision give me an advantage to see anything else besides what you described to share with my companions?
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Okay, I'm rolling. Oh, wow, 5.
Okay, so no, you don't see anything in particular, like traps or anything, or things of that nature. But all of you are welcome to search for traps if you want, or roll a general search.
Everybody search.
Man,
As we
I get lucky. I failed, by the way.
Good, good.
Me too. And I
Okay.
light a torch because I don't have dark vision.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, definitely a good thing. So Grinskar would notice, as Neral's torch is lit, that maybe 10 feet in front of you guys in the middle of the hallway looks like the floor might be trapped. Looks like a pressure plate.
So as we're standing at the entrance and all peering in, and I scan what lays ahead of us, and I notice that plate. One hand gripping my scythe as I lean on it, keeping pressure off my leg. I lift my other hand and point in the direction and say, I believe that there's a trap of some sort in that spot. You may want to avoid stepping there or close to there.
Thank you for letting us know. Please make a note, I'm avoiding the trap at all time, no matter where I'm walking.
Same here.
Perhaps it might be wise to have our new companion scout ahead for us as we travel through here.
Yeah, you can definitely do that if you want. The goblin would mindlessly move forward if you give him a push, perhaps. And,
Yeah, just in case, since I don't know what kind of traps or what lay ahead, I would not want to lose my belongings, so somewhat reluctantly I'll grab my pack back and slip it over my shoulders as I usher him forward.
Yep, easily done. And he walks forward about 10 feet to where you saw the pressure plate, and whenever he steps on it, clicks, but nothing gives. So it seems like perhaps the trap is disarmed, or due to time is just falling apart. Either way, he makes it another 20 feet, so about 30 feet across the room, and to the end of the hallway to a door, and he just bumps into it.
Before we go further inside, Neural takes out a piece of cloth and rips it to 4 pieces and starts wrapping it around her hooves and gives 2 of the cloth pieces to Finrod. If you would be so kind, my back hooves. I don't want to alert the inhabitants.
With pleasure, I will wrap thy hooves.
Gar kind of gets a frown on his face as he's looking at the plate, and he scratches his head, his cloth skull cap, and says,
I don't understand. There's no trap. Perhaps it goes to an alarm bell or something below.
Or perhaps it was triggered by someone else who arrived here before us. I suppose time will give us the answer.
Quite mysterious indeed. Ha 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 ha.
I'd like to ask Grenskar, I'm not familiar with your kind. Can you describe what powers you have that may help us in our quests?
Well, as you have seen, I have some ability to communicate in certain ways with the dead and have fortuitously arranged a device to disarm any traps we may come across, safely for us anyway.
And what kind of magical weapons do you yield to deal with our enemies and the undead?
Well, unfortunately, I'm rather limited in that department. The weapons that you see upon me, which is the scythe that he carries and a sickle on his waist, are the weapons which are at my disposal at the moment.
I see. Thank you so much for your information. I guess if it's okay with you all, maybe we should quietly move forward, avoiding the trap even though it may have been set off already.
Of course, after you, good sir. Kind of lavishly put his arm out, motioning for him to go forward.
Can you describe the room again, which ways we can go?
Yeah, this is just like an entry hallway, and it's 30 feet from where you entered to the far end of the hallway, and all that's in front of you is a smaller wooden door. It's like a normal sized door.
No right, no left, no up, no down, just the door.
Yeah, it's just like an entry foyer kind of thing.
Okay, I see ahead a door. I'd like to suggest we move toward the door. When I open the door, slowly, if you all could be as close to me as possible, ready for anything that might unleash itself toward us.
Yeah, Gar will couch the short sword next to his side and get down like he's marauding and follow you to the door, ready to pounce at whatever comes through it.
Neural takes out her short sword, her long sword, +1.
Okay, with one hand, can I open this door? Well, I'd like to try to open the door one-handed and have my short sword in the other hand.
Yep,
Is that
easily done.
possible?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'd like to slowly open the door and maybe a quarter way and use my dark vision to look inside and see.
Yeah, whenever you look inside, it is dark, but it's not quite as dark. It looks like maybe there's some torchlight bouncing off the walls, kind of scattered about. That's all you can see with the door quarter open.
Well, my companions, I don't see anything frightful in front of me, so I will open the door all the way and see what we can find. So I'd like to open the door all the way.
Yep, easily done. And whenever you open it, there were in fact maybe 4 or so evenly spaced torch sconces on the walls, but they all flicker out as soon as you open the door. And what you see in front of you, 10 feet, is just a hallway. To the right, you see a door. To the left, there's a door. And then the hallway continues even further, with the door on the far left. And then at the very end of the hallway, it's like a T to the right and the left.
Once the door's open, I will send the goblin shuffling forward down the center of the hall.
Yeah, and he would walk about 50 feet until he gets to the very end and bumps into the wall at the T at the end of the hallway there. And again, he passes a door to his right and 2 on his left.
Well, once he makes it to the other end and starts walking endlessly against the wall, I'll turn to my companions. Well, it appears that the way is clear. He lightly slaps Gar on the shoulder. Stay close, old man. We wouldn't want your body to become lost in here.
Yeah, my flash where you hit me will start to turn purple like bruised fruit. And I'll say,
I will not stray far. Don't worry about that.
and Gar will start to walk down the hallway, kind of with the intent of going to the right door if no one stops him.
I hold out the torch to light his way.
Ah, thank you, Madam Centaur. You are too kind.
Okay, so you want to open that door to your immediate right in that first section?
Yep. I walk right up to it. Does it look like it pushes in or opens out?
It pushes in.
I will, so I'm looking at the door in front of me, like I'm squared up to it. I want to stand by the right side of it and hit the door open and push in with my right hand as I roll back around the frame. So I'm not like in the door when it opens.
Definitely a smart move. So as it swings open, let's see, which one is this? Yeah, okay. So as you swing it open, it looks like this maybe...
I know. I didn't drink it all.
Hey, Hal, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. Yep, so as you swing it open, it looks like this was maybe originally like a master bedroom, but when you walk in, you see a large bed against the east wall, not in good shape, And scattered about, you see 6 goblins sleeping, as well as 4 of them playing dice in one of the corners, and then 2 of them stare at the door, apparently keeping guard, as it swings open. They kind of stand to their feet.
I will turn back to the party with this look of sheer horror on my face and say, "The dogs of war are upon us!" And I will attempt to close the door again.
Yeah, you can definitely close it. However, as you do so, the 2 large guard goblins would start rushing towards it, but you can close it before they make it.
Okay. So you said it opens in, right? Into the room.
Yeah.
So can I take my sword and jab it somehow between the handle and the outside of the frame, so like as they pull it, it catches and makes it hard for them to open it in?
Yeah, go ahead. You can maybe roll do like a strength check just to see if it makes it through enough.
Okay. No, I fail by 3.
Yeah, so maybe you would try to jam it through the wood there, but it wouldn't quite go and catch like a knot or something. It's pretty thick wood.
Is there any chance I can try to assist him and shove behind him and help him try to shove it in?
Yeah. What did you roll, Andrew?
14 over 11.
Okay, so we'll say with Grinscar's help, yeah, you managed to seal it, at least temporarily. I'll give him some time to try to break through, or leave through a different exit. But for now, you're safe. But you do know that there's 12 goblins behind that door.
Yeah, Gar will reveal that. He'll say,
12 of the little fiends.
Can we nail the door shut? I've got nails. That it stays shut?
Yeah, you can try that for sure.
Okay. Do I roll to hammer nails in?
Do you have something to hammer it? I guess you could use like a weapon or something.
Yeah.
Or your hooves even.
Then that'll off my sword.
Yeah, we'll say you succeed in at least temporarily nailing the door shut. So the sword wouldn't have to stay there.
"Oh,
Okay.
good job." So yeah, I'll pull the sword out and say,
Ah, thank you. I was afraid it was the last I was going to see of her.
Perhaps it might be best that we move along, unless we wish to deal with these things.
Indeed, let's hurry.
yeah. So Gar will start going towards the T, and he'll ignore the door on the left, I think, because in his head he wants to put some distance between that room and us.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you'll pass up the 2 doors, maybe about 40 feet down, 50 feet down, and you get to the T.
I will go to the right.
Awesome. So yeah, you go right about 10 feet, and then it continues to your left, back to the north. And 10 feet in that direction, to the right, there's a doorway. And then at the far end of the north in front of you, there's another door. And then it also breaks off to the right further, to the east. It's kind of like a Z pattern almost.
So when I get to the turn where it like opens up and I can see all this, I will stop at that right angle for the rest of the party to catch up with me. And I'll say to Grinskar,
There seems to be a lot at play down this corridor. Perhaps we should have the goblin go again.
You heard him, and I'll give the goblin a rough slap on the back to shove him forward. A little bit impatient. The room full of goblins on my mind as we're making our way through here.
Awesome. So y'all are in that corner there. So there's a door, directly in front of you at the north, at the end of the hallway. And then, yeah, he can continue to the right, to the east. And he would go maybe 20 or 30 feet, and there'd be a door to his left. And he goes another 20 feet, so let's say 50 feet from you guys, and he hits a wall. Probably the end of the keep.
does the floor here, I'm guessing it's made of some kind of stone. Are we leaving signs of our retreat? Can you like see footprints left in dust or something where we're walking?
Oh yeah, totally. Although there are lots of various scattered footprints going all about this place, from like years of use and recent use.
Well, I can go last and let my tail shuffle over the ground.
Could I tie my cloak to your tail, and so it's like a broom or like a duster?
Yeah, just suggest that you see that she doesn't like it, but she agrees.
Yeah, so he'll come over and just like an old sailor, put it in like a double hitch knot.
Very cool. Yeah. So and I think Hal might be having some. Okay, there he is. Yeah. So just to reiterate, there's a door right next to you. You can go down this hallway where the goblin is, and then there's also a door just from where you came from, on the right side of the hallway. And your tracks will now be covered as you walk if the centaur is in the back.
Okay, Gar's inclination again would be to go to the end of the hallway, to put that much more distance, so there's a little bit of a obfuscation of where we went. And then there, around the turn at the end of this hallway, there's another door, you said, correct?
Yeah, so you get to this, you guys are at the T, there's a doorway, then you get to the further end, there's a doorway. Yeah, so like towards the goblin is what you're asking?
Yeah, where the goblin's at, exactly.
Yeah, on the left side, about 30 feet from where you are, there's a door.
Yeah, that would be the door I'd go for.
Excellent. So you can open it with no problem. And as you open it, looks like this is probably one of the newer parts of the keep, or at least it was remodeled relatively recently. Looks like it was a small chapel dedicated to this, what you would assume is probably like a local goddess. There's a small altar on the west end of the room, which has a small statue of a beautiful woman holding a sheaf of wheat in both hands, and she's sitting. By the layer of dust covering everything, this room looks like it hasn't been touched, especially not by any sort of like goblin or orc or more recent occupant of the keep.
Yeah, so I'll move out of the door frame and let those guys see it.
Looks odd in a place like this.
Yeah, Gar will look at Grimscar with a bit of a fascination again and say,
Sir Necromancer, is it even possible for one of your ilk to cross such a threshold?
Perhaps. I'll kind of eye the door warily as I look over the room. Would I recognize anything specific, any of the symbols or imagery?
The only thing you would see is, excuse me, on the statue of this woman, this goddess, is that she has like a dragonfly pendant around her neck. I mean, it's a stone one, but it's carved kind of intricately, this dragonfly pendant. Which, if you've studied the local religions and things and magic and stuff, being a necromancer, you more than likely have, I'll say, you would recognize that it is the Rodemus family symbol. And this is Rodemus Keep, just to reiterate.
It would seem that this remnants of the original owners of the keep, that brooch carved there is the symbol of the family that used to own this place.
Is there anything else of note we can see here, or I can see?
Finrod, since you're an elf, if you're kind of hanging back in the hallway there, just looking in, Go ahead and roll a d6. See if you spot anything.
I got a 4.
Okay, so not quite enough. I guess with the rest of you who are in the hallway, you all can roll a d6 as well.
Three.
Looking for a 1.
Yep, I failed.
What about Grinscar?
4.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, all you see is this dusty room and the hallway behind you, the end of it. With the goblin at the end of it just kind of standing there.
This room hasn't seen visitors recently. We should move on.
But if it has not been visited, that means its contents may have been untouched for a long time. There could be valuables in there.
Maybe this is a safe place where evil cannot dwell.
Maybe we should remember.
Once again, looking at Grinskar, I'll say,
Perhaps you should command the goblin into the room. See if it can enter.
Now, as you're saying this, you hear a noise at the end of the hallway, kind of by the goblin, but on the opposite end of the from where you guys are, the opposite wall. You hear like stone kind of being pushed, and as you maybe look to turn to see this kind of loud noise, a secret passageway does open up, but out steps one goblin, looks like kind of like a leader type. He's a bit larger than the others, and behind him you can hear the shuffling of a few more feet, and he steps out into the hallway by your goblin, and he looks at it and then looks at the party, and
Can I command him to attack?
Your goblin? Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
If nothing else, at least distract him, hopefully startle him. I mean, one of his kind, undead. And
We can maybe roll a d20 and see if he hits this goblin champion.
5.
Oh no, he does miss. So I'll let you guys react, and then we can all roll initiative.
Okay, how does initiative work?
Yeah, it'll just be a d6, and if you have a dex mod or a penalty, add that.
how wide is the hallway?
About 10, 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet wide, so a couple of you guys can probably stand shoulder to shoulder. A few of you.
So, 2.
I got
One.
a 1. Oh, sorry.
I got a 3.
Okay, cool. So, as he steps into the hallway, he's facing you guys. The other corpse goblin servant there will try to attack him, and he'll just push him off, push his face, and he'll look at you guys, and looks like he's ready to attack. But first, it'll be Gar's turn to attack.
Does this door that we're standing at that's opened, does that open into the room as well, or can it be pulled out into the hallway?
The chapel door,
Mm-hmm.
it pushes into the chapel.
Pushes in? Okay. How far are they from us at our position?
About 15, 20 feet. I'd say 20 feet.
All right. Shaking with my arthritis, my liver-spotted hands, I will squat down and yell, "Ah, charge!" and run down the hallway to attack. That's not bad, actually. Okay, 15.
Exactly what you need to hit him.
All right. And short sword. Oh, I don't have damage written down for that. That's a D6, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. 4 points of damage.
Awesome. and that definitely leaves a decent mark on him. Maybe as you take a chunk out of his shoulder or something there. And then next we'll go to Dennis with Grinscar.
Well, let's see. So there's currently only one out in the hall.
Yeah,
At least.
there might be there's some echoing, like
Right, like there's more coming, but
yeah.
So basically, I guess when Gar charges forward, Grinscar will kind of scowl and go, "You silly old man," but he'll charge after him, bringing his start twirling his scythe, and a step behind and to the right of Gar, he'll take a swing at the goblin as well.
Nice.
Eek. That's not going to hit.
Okay, yeah. So you miss. You swing a little wide, and it just maybe slams the stone floor to the side of him. So then it will go to the ones, and we'll go with Neural. What does she do?
Neural hauls ass and does an actual centaur charge. That's 18 and 3 damage if I hit.
Oh yeah, definitely. The target number is 15 for y'all's reference. So you definitely hit him, or hit it, and yeah. So you can see that he's bleeding a good bit at this point, but he's still standing. You know, if not at least clutching his arm, one of his arms. So then it will go to Finrod.
Well, I guess I don't do much because I rolled a 1. So.
Were you trying to do a melee or a missile?
Melee.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you absolutely miss. So then it will be his turn, and we'll say he attacks you, Finrod, because of the the poor strike attempt at him. And he rolls a 7, so he does miss you. And we'll go back up to the top at Gar.
Yeah, Gar will bring the short sword over his head like it's the heaviest, longest claymore you've seen in your entire life. And shaking, he'll try to bring it down in a chop. And he misses.
Most impressive, but not quite enough, as it probably slams into the ground as well, sending rings of steel against stone through that hallway. And then it'll go to Grinscar.
So having missed, I tug the blade free from the stone that it hit, taking a step back as I swing in a wide arc, trying to hit it again. So that'd be 16.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. And it will be D8.
How much damage was it?
Do you get any bonuses to damage, like from your strength or anything?
Yeah, if you're doing a melee attack, you'll have a strength bonus added to
So it'll
it.
be 9 total.
Oh, 9 damage. Damn, excellent. So you can describe how you fell this Goblin Champion.
So basically, yeah, having missed, I step back and swing the scythe out wide in an arc over my head and bringing it down expertly right above his shoulders as I remove his head and send it tumbling back down in the tunnel behind him.
Beautiful. However, as it rolls down the tunnel, it gets punted back out through the secret doorway by 4 more smaller goblins this time. And we'll keep the initiative the same for you guys, but for them... Okay, so it's going to go to the top, and they're going to attack first now. And having seen the head kicked, or sliced off there, the first goblin will try to attack you, Grinscar. He rolls an 18. So I think he hits you.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so let's see what kind of damage. It does 2 points of damage to you. And the next 2 will rush for Gar. They roll a 8, an 8, so they miss. And the last one will try to attack Neural. They rolled a 20, so I believe that's a definite hit, but only 1 point of damage. Yeah. So now we'll go to Gar. How do you react to this?
He will shout as the two goblins miss him with the swings. Power generates in the legs! And I'll slap my hip and try to swing lazily with my left arm with the sword as I pop up. Closest goblin. 14.
And that will hit.
All right. 3 points of damage.
Yeah, that's enough for at least that one.
Yeah, so I barely hit him. The last 2 inches of the blade slice his throat, and his hands go up as he begins to gurgle blood, and I kick him down. You do not escape my swing!
Awesome, yeah, so he that one is felled. So then we'll go to Grinscar again. So now you're down with 3 goblins.
Having taken that hit, he stumbles back, his bad leg almost buckling on him as he curses, and he'll send in his goblin servant to attack one of the goblins.
Awesome, yep, go ahead and roll a d20.
Back.
No, the 9 will miss, yeah. But you can still attack if you want.
Yeah, I guess with him kind of bolstered by my little shield in front of me, I'll swing my blade over him at them. Sheesh, not any better. 9. So miss.
Okay, so we'll go to, let's see, who were we? Neural?
Okay, let's do that smart. I want to attack a goblin who's facing someone else. That gives me +2, right?
Yeah, it does. So we'll say the one that was attacking Grinscar.
Okay. 15 and 7 damage.
Oh yeah, you can describe how you kill that one.
Okay, Neural drives her sword into his neck from up above and kicks out with her hoof to shove it down from the blade again.
Very cool. And then we'll go to Finrod, last but not least, in this order.
So we got 2 left.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess I'll try to strike with my short sword, the one closest to me. .11.
Yeah, so you do miss. Not by much, though. Trying to get a 14. So, we'll go to the top, and that one will try to hit you back, Finrod. But he rolls a 6, so he does miss. And the next one will try to attack Grinscar's goblin servant. He rolls a 17, so he will hit, and he kills it, actually. So that thing is taken down by this kind of puny goblin. But then it'll go to Gar.
Alright, so does that one have its back turned to me, the one that just took out the goblin?
Yeah, we'll say so.
Yeah, so thinking that it's going to go to Grinscar next and seeing him badly wounded, I'm going to jump behind and chop down with my blade and try to take him out.
Sweet.
16.
Yep.
Okay. 4 points of damage.
Oh yeah, you kill him.
Yep, so I'll cut off the left arm and then cut off the right leg and let him just slosh off of it like water and spill onto the ground.
Yeah, he'll hobble in a circle for a second, and then he'll just fucking fall into his pool of blood. And it'll go to Grinscar.
So how many is left at this point?
Just one more, kind of a mid-sized goblin.
So, yeah, as he's facing the one goblin and it suddenly struck down from behind, blood splattering him, and then again a second one falls after taking out a servant. Grinscar will tighten his jaw as he kind of hobbles forward, swinging his scythe in another wide arc, trying to take out the last. That'll be 18.
Cool.
That'll be 8 points of damage.
Yep, just enough to kill him. He had 7 hit points. So you can describe that. And
So, yeah, as he swings in a wide arc, it bites deep into flesh, rending it, sending the goblin to the floor. The momentum of the strike causing Grinscar to stumble forward, slipping in the bloody mess of goblin and goo, catching himself on the wall as he leans against it.
awesome. And that will end the combat, at least for now.
Now, Grinscar has some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we able to help him at all somehow?
One of you or a couple of you should have 2 healing potions. Aside from that, there's not much you can do without resting, or unless you have like a spell or something you can cast. Which I don't think you need.
I do have a healing potion. How you doing, Grinscar? Do you need healing?
Well, I'm down to 2 hit points of 4. I'm half, but it's only like 2 hit points, so I don't know if we really want to waste it.
It's up to you. I got one.
If
If
you
you need
get
it.
hit once more, you're dead.
Yeah.
Better drink it.
Well, yeah, if it's offered, he's definitely not going to refuse it. He'll take it with
No,
a
yeah,
nod.
you can have this healing potion. We need you in our party. You're valuable. You are a valuable asset.
So does it heal a certain number, or do you need to roll to see how many it heals, or how does it work?
Yeah, it'll be 1d6 plus 1.
So yeah, that will heal me full.
Awesome. Yeah, so these dead goblins are lying about at the end of this hallway.
Any interesting looking things on them as I look around at the melee and the carnage?
You'll see a couple of them had some pretty jagged looking daggers. One of them had a short sword. One of them had a small hatchet. And the goblin champion had a long sword. Kind of crude builds. Nothing very special about them, for sure.
Okay.
Do these seem to be the goblins I spied in the room, or is this a different set of goblins, do I reckon?
Depending on how senile Gar is, you would probably recognize the champion as one of the ones that was guarding the door that you swung open earlier.
Okay, so Guard will say, "My mind is not what it used to be, but I believe these to be the goblins we had trapped in that room."
Maybe we should close this door then too. She points at the secret door.
And I'll look into the secret door, and it kind of has like that call to me, like there's something hidden back there.
But maybe we could look just for a moment. Perhaps there's another passage that goes off of the hidden hall.
Yeah, maybe. If you want, old one, be my guest.
He'll lick his top lip. It makes like a little bit of a spittle sound.
It is... Oh.
And he lowers his shoulders and he'll start to sheath his blade.
Curiosity killed the cat, I suppose.
Indeed. And she walks over slowly and tries to push the door close again.
Yeah, after a few moments, we'll be able to slide the stone door back into place, stealing it.
Can we take a few of those weapons and bar the door that way? Because
Yeah,
I don't think my nails would work there.
No, probably not. You could probably wedge some of the hilts or the blades or some of those things into the doorway. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do that.
awesome.
That large, was it a statue in the chapel? Could we move that in front of it?
Oh yeah, maybe if two of you guys try to do it, yeah, definitely.
That's a good idea, Gar. Who of us has the strength to achieve such a feat?
I fear not myself.
Neural looks of medium strength. She's young.
Would we have to roll for this, or?
No, just if perhaps two of you tried to move it, I'll say you can. After maybe 10, 15 minutes of trying to get it across
Yeah.
the floor then.
We can attach a rope to it, and Neural will pull. And then we can shove it in front of the door.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll say after about 15 minutes, this statue is now in front of the secret passageway.
Can I see anything now as an elf in that room now that the statue has moved? Anything else that's interesting there?
No, nothing really. It's just an old dust-covered chapel.
Okay.
No use at all in probably decades.
Are there any like trinkets or old books? Anything of like not maybe necessarily valuable, but you know.
Yeah, maybe if you all search through like the pews and things, you might find, let's see, about five silver pieces total. So really not a whole lot. Or 5 gold pieces, rather.
Any maps?
No maps.
Too easy.
Grinskar would be looking for any kind of like I said, just kind of like a souvenir type thing, any kind of old book or trinket. You know, like I said, no obvious value or anything, but just, like I said, a little souvenir of the room.
Yeah, you might find like a small little like prayer book for Mallory, who's the goddess, the dragonfly pendant.
So yeah, I would go ahead and take.
Cool. Yeah, aside from that stuff, there's not much else in there. Definitely no maps.
I forgot. I have that secret door finder thing, like 2 out of 6. Can you remind me what that does?
Yeah, definitely. Well, like for example, before the secret door was opened by the goblins, before the combat there, I had you roll the d6, and that was to try to find the secret door.
I see. Okay, so it's kind of like, but if I want to search for secret doors, am I allowed to ask and then roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can search for traps, secret doors, yeah, at your discretion, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, just sometimes I might have you guys roll if, if I feel like it's fitting for the situation or something.
I got it. Okay, guys, where are we going next?
So, is there a branch that goes in the opposite direction at the end of that last T, or I guess it would have to if it's a T. I guess my question is it a T?
Okay, so you're at the end of this hallway. Let's say you're standing facing the chapel room. All right. So that's to the north. To the east is just the end of the hallway where the goblin had originally come from, where the secret door is. To the south wall, so behind you. If you go down to your left where you came from, it goes back to the like L of that Z kind of. And at the end of that, there's a door to the right at the very end, and then to the left it goes back towards the T, if that makes sense. If that was too convoluted, I can walk you through it.
No, that's cool. We'll go to that right door. I'll go to that closest one.
Sweet. Yeah, so that's about 30, 40 feet down. You want to open it, or just listen, or how do you guys want to do that?
Does the door is just a wooden door?
Yeah, this is a wooden door. With perhaps some like iron, like maybe I don't know if that'd be called, but like iron strips across it.
Ooh.
Or keeping it secure.
I'm going to take my bow and use it as like a little bit of a pole and try to see if I can slice that door handle open with it without having to go up to the door itself.
Yeah, you can go ahead and slice it. I'll say you do it with no problem, and the door kind of like creaks open a tiny bit.
I'll then, being a crafty old dog, I'm going to poke around at the floor to see if there's any more of those panels that almost claimed my life earlier in my eyes.
You would not find any panels in that particular spot, that area. No.
Alright, so I will take my left hand and poke around the frame and push it open and then see what's inside.
Cool. So as you open it, what you see, where are we? Yeah. So it looks like maybe this was, it's furnished like it was perhaps like a commander's office kind of deal. Pretty usual furnishings and things. There was a large rug in the middle of the floor. However, it's moved, and standing in its place is a large hobgoblin. Looks kind of like he would be in the commanding position, and huddled in the corner of the room, the far corner, are two humans. They're bound and gagged in the corner, and then there's three more hobgoblins kind of scattered about towards the back of the room. And just for reference, a hobgoblin is like a goblin but a bit bigger. They have like reddish brown, graying hair, and orange skin.
My knee-jerk reaction would be to try to shoot him with the bow that I have in my hands.
Yeah, are they surprised?
No, for
Shit.
some reason they are not surprised, and in fact they're going to have a +2 to their initiative for reasons unknown at the time being. It's as if they were almost waiting for you. So, go ahead and everyone roll initiative. And Gar, I guess you'll be the only one in the room at the moment. Yeah, I think so.
I got a 1.
Me too.
Okay, and then 2 3s. Goblins. The goblins have a 7 for the hobgoblins. So, the immediate thing that would happen is the leader goblin would throw back his head and give this cackling laugh as he draws his great axe and rushes for Gar. And he's only about 20 feet away from you, so he will reach you. And
Does the door frame give me any kind of cover?
yeah, it'll give you a little bit. So we'll say he has a -2 to his hit. So he rolls an 8 total. So he does miss, and his great axe slams into the door, getting stuck for a second. After that, the three hobgoblins will. Let's see. One of them will rush up and try to attack him. He rolls a 5 -2, so he rolls a 3. He misses. The other two are just going to kind of stand at the ready and like raise their long swords, kind of protecting the two prisoners behind them. So after that, it will go to Gar.
I'm going to run down the hallway towards my comrades, pulling an arrow from the quiver on my back and start to string it into the bow, and I'll say,
The goblins come! One is large, the largest goblin I have ever seen! Prepare yourselves!
Yep, and then it will go to Grinskar as your companion yells that out.
Okay, how far is it to the door?
From where you are, let's say about 5 feet, and you'll be inside the room.
I guess what I would like to do, if I can, is I'm going to just be like right beside the door with my back to it and wait, and as soon as something comes out, swing my blade. I don't know, like a surprise hit or just a hold action or however that would work. If I can't see anything in the moment, I don't want to go in the room, and I want to, try to get it as soon as it comes out in the doorway.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say you're kind of waiting on the side of the door, and if anything does, happen to come out, I'll let you take an action on it. But from there to go to Finrod.
Just to clarify the scene, so how wide is the door? I like this bottleneck idea. So we're outside, all of us are outside the door. How wide can many of these guys fit through the door at once? You know what I mean? Or
No, it's a pretty standard sized door, whatever that would be. I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet max.
yeah, maybe I could. In my mind, it's hard for me to see, but is there any room on one side of the door for me to wait too? Like use the door.
No,
What I'm
there's
saying?
only the let's say the right side of the door, which is where Grinscar is. The left side is up against a wall, a hallway, rather.
I see. Um,
Think of like an upside down capital L
yeah.
and reversed.
So I can see in front of me the big dude would be the first monster line of sight for me, right?
Yeah, he had just swung his axe and it kind of got caught in the door. And then there's a smaller hobgoblin to the next to him.
All right. Is it how close would I be? Like within like few feet?
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I'd like to. I guess I have to try to hit him with my short sword. So I'd like to try to do that.
Okay, the bigger one or the smaller?
No, the big one. Is his axe still stuck in the door? Like, is this mid, or is
Yeah,
he?
like he just drove it into the door.
Okay, so yeah, I'll try to hit that guy if he, the big dude. Let me see if I can roll something worthwhile. And it's a 7, so I kill myself.
Not quite, but you do miss, absolutely. And then it'll go to Neural.
Sorry for asking again, but is there already a goblin outside in the hall?
No, they're both kind of in the doorway. One has his axe
Okay.
stuck in the door itself. Yeah.
Can I don't know, hold my action and wait for one of them to exit the room and then block off the doorway with my huge horse's ass?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. And in the meanwhile, can I attack one of them?
Yeah, we'll say as you move up towards into the doorway, you can attack. You can attack one.
Okay, cool. 16, 18, and 7. 8, actually.
Perfect. So you hit the larger one, I guess. 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, and yeah, he did not like that. So you
Good.
hit like his arms, and maybe it slashed down his side as well as he's trying to wedge his axe out of the door.
Mhm.
And he's bleeding quite a bit. So it will go to their turn now. Let's say he does not get his axe out the door yet, so he's still struggling with that. So it'll go to the small one right next to him, who will try to attack the horse. Centaur. Rolls at 15, which I think hits,
Hits. Mhm.
for 5 damage.
What? Okay. Boom! A huge horse corpse falls down to the ground.
God damn.
Not again.
Blocking the door, I hope.
Oh man, yeah, we'll say she crumples with her ass in the air, kind of like making a decent door jam there.
Oh yeah. You're welcome, guys.
Gar will yell, Madam Centaur, no!
Yeah, so from that, it'll go. The two in the back will still be defensive, guarding the hostages. And then it'll go to Gar, having just seen the centaur be felled.
So it's blocking the door completely, right?
The horse corpse, yeah.
How flammable would a horse corpse be?
Pretty flammable, I'd imagine, with the fur and all this. The locks of hair and the long tail.
I prefer to say flammable.
I had that cloak on my ass.
Oh yeah, true. So it's like
Mhm.
you even.
I have. Grinskar has some oil.
Yeah, Gar will quickly say as he's fishing for the torch, because you were holding a torch too, weren't you, Neural, when you went down? Yeah,
Mhm.
so I'll go to grab the torch that she drops, and I'll say,
I must decide quickly. If we set the corpse on fire, perhaps we can smoke them out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, when he says that, I'll grab one of the flasks of oil from my pack and move around the corpse by him as I toss it down, kind of like, I guess, like on the side in the room if I can, or just right outside the doors to break it over the corpse and the floor.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let y'all both do that simultaneously because y'all both have 3s on the initiative. So y'all can, describe how this maybe transpires. This corpse going up in flame.
Gar will say one little prayer. He'll say,
I know you are running through the big forest in the sky now. Noro, may your death be of greater use.
Oh, it's a shameful waste. She would have made a great servant. As the flask hits the ground and the fire erupts.
Awesome. So yeah, now there's just flaming horse corpse completely blocking the doorway with, and it's gonna do some fire damage to the guy with this axe who's still stuck. Yeah, so it'll do some damage to him. So he's like slightly charred at this point and also bloodied. So he's not looking too good. The other goblin will jump back away. So there's still 3 goblins in the room, but it'll go to it'll go to Finrod.
I'm sorry to bother everyone, but dude, what do we do now that she died? How do we get her to be able to continue to play?
I'm on it.
Yeah, just like out of character, I gave her the go-ahead. She can roll another character who can maybe be sent by the town patrol to investigate. Check
I
out.
just wanted to make sure because I felt sad about this.
Yeah, 2 of her characters.
Second time in there. Okay, so is the fire like raging as far as like, is it protecting us from the contents of the room, kind of?
Yeah, the door is now a fiery mess, like the doorway. Yeah.
So trying to enter that, I don't think would be possible, correct?
Correct. At least from that door. Yeah.
Right. Can I see in there? Can I try to shoot somebody with an arrow, or is it just too...
Yeah, no, if you kind of move around, I guess, where Gar and Grinscar were, yeah, you can shoot him.
Okay, so there's 3 little goblins in there, or, I mean, what are we calling them? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's 3 smaller hobgoblins, and then there's 1 larger one. It's probably the leader of them.
Oh, yeah, the larger one's still there, so I don't know. If I would like to try to... I guess yeah, I should do that. If I can, I'd like to try to hit the big one if he's visible.
Yeah, he's hopped back a couple feet, like maybe 5-6 feet, and he's just abandoned his axe in the door as the flames went up. So yeah, he's totally hittable.
Okay, let me see what I can do. Hold on. I got a 2. I just keep rolling horrible. This is awful.
Yeah, so that arrow maybe flies and yeah, just kind of flies into the wall past him. So it'll go to their turn. So this guy is gonna pull out what other weapon does he have? He's gonna pull out his longbow and he's gonna try to fire back. And let's see. Oh shit! Yeah, he rolled a 20, so he's gonna strike you, Finrod. With a,
I got 11 AC, so yeah.
Okay, so he does 4 damage.
Okay, so I have 1 hit point left. Shouldn't have given away my elixir of life.
But he still might have 1, for what it's worth. But yeah, so his arrow does hit you, does that damage. And then the goblin next to him only has a sword, so he's going to retreat back to the other 2 who are guarding the prisoners, and then I'll let it go to Gar.
Oh shit! I think didn't Neural's corpse have that other healing potion?
Mm-hmm.
We torched it.
Yeah. Although, is it burned completely? Because you set her ass on fire.
Yeah, we can say that the pouch or whatever, your sack or whatever you had there,
Yeah.
probably, fell out into the hallway in front of you guys.
Oh, thank God. Can I use my action to tear open the bag and look for the potion?
Do it.
Yeah. So if I can grab it, I will toss it to Finrod and say,
Drink, my friend.
Easily done.
Thank you, Gar. You saved me. Thank you. I'm in debt to you, sir.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go to Grinscar as a potion flies across the room.
So, I mean, there's really no way to reach the ones that are inside the room, right?
Not from that side, although, yeah, not from that door. Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. There's not really anything I can do. Yeah, so
You got anything you can throw at him in there, like a dagger or a rock? I don't know.
is the centaur's bow still laying on the floor also?
Yeah, probably by the pack.
unfortunately, as a necromancer, I can't use a bow.
And Finrod would remember that her long sword was the one they picked up from that mage girl. It's magic. Don't forget.
Oh, cool. Well, we should keep that in mind when it cools down.
Mhm.
So, Grinscar, I guess you're going to hold.
Yeah, because there's nothing I can really do at the moment.
Does the longsword that you mentioned help him at all? Is it like 50 feet long? I mean, is it do anything to help him?
Not in this situation.
Well, I have my scythe, which should be longer than a longsword, but
Yeah,
that's not going to reach into the room, unfortunately.
okay.
So it's going to go to you, Finrod.
Well, how do I not? I see the L you're talking about. So if I move away from the wall, is there any way to try to shoot an arrow into the room with not being, diagonally and see someone with kind of the angle of protection towards myself to avoid what happened last time at all? Is that...
Yeah, if you angle yourself diagonally, you wouldn't be able to hit the goblin the Hobgoblin Chief, but you'd be able to hit any of the other three.
Okay. I'd like to angle because I'm scared of death. So let me see if I can hit a little guy. I guess not because it's a 6.
Yeah, so that'll just go flying into the room, probably catching on fire and fucking up the flight of it. So it's going to go to their turn, but what they're going to do, the leader's going to have rallied, let's say he'll rally 2 of the small guys with him, and what he's going to do is use their movement to go to the opposite side of the room where you can't see, and you can hear a door swinging open, and their footsteps, echoing back that way, probably coming from behind, like from where you guys had originally come. And that'll be their turn, so it'll go to Gar.
So Gar, hearing the footsteps, will say,
No, you don't think. They're going for that secret passage.
And, yeah, so, like, what you would hear if you're at this door that you guys came from, let's say you're facing the burning corpse, to the south, 20 feet, is the initial T of the first hallway, the right side of it, and you'll hear them coming from farther back that way, probably from around that the side that you didn't go. And if you would move probably 10, 20 feet, you'd be able to see them coming around the corner there. But they're not like in necessary range yet.
yeah, if I can see him coming, I'll light an arrow in the fire and shoot it at the head one.
Cool. So the leader will be the first one around the corner, so you can go ahead and shoot at him.
Okay. Ooh, pretty good. 18.
Very nice, yeah. So you can do some damage to him.
8 points of damage.
Oh yeah, describe how you kill this tall, old, graying, orange hobgoblin chief.
Yeah, so I just instinctually shoot, like level it up, pull it back. It catches flame, strikes him in the chest, and the flame just hops up to his lips and his ears and his eyes, and everything starts to melt.
Awesome, yeah, so this guy goes down, dropping his longbow in front of him. So he lets out a groan. And it'll go to Grinscore.
Can I see any more behind him?
Yeah, if you move down there the 15, 20 feet to where Gar moved to shoot, you would see the probably the other 2 peeking around the corner, like about to come.
So yeah, I'll run down there, and if I can reach him, I'll attack, since I can't do any good waiting outside that door.
Okay, if you do your maximum movement, you'll be able to attack them. You'll be within melee range next turn, I'll say.
Okay.
So a little bit away. So it'll go to Finrod.
I'd like to try the fire arrow thing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. How many are visible in front of us at this point? Because Andrew killed one, right?
Correct. Yeah, so if you would move the 20 feet down to where Andrew is, you would be able to shoot an arrow at one of the 2 down there.
So there's 2 left?
There's 3. There's still one in the room guarding the 2.
Right, but in front of us there's 2 left. Okay. Alright, let's see what we can do. And it is another 6.
So it just whizzes in between their heads and strikes the far hallway. So it'll go to their turn, and they're going to move up to melee range to Gar and, well, I guess all 3 of you. And the first one will attack Gar and miss. The second one will attack Grinscore and miss wildly. So now to go to Gar.
What's the penalty for drawing in this? Is it -2?
I don't remember, but I think I used -2 last time, so I'm going to continue doing that.
Okay. I'll drop the bow and draw my short sword and cut at its belly as I move back.
Nice.
Nope, that's a miss.
Yeah, it might just like scratch his belly or something. Not draw much blood though. So then I'm going to go to Grinscar. And now you're within melee range.
Okay, so 16.
And that will hit.
4 points of damage.
And yeah, you can describe how you kill one of them.
So Grinscar goes charging up after Gar. Unable to reach them, he sets his good leg as he pulls back on the Scythe waiting, and as soon as they come in range, he brings it down in an arc, cleaving it from shoulder to hip.
Very nice, yeah. So one of these smaller hobgoblins just drops. And then I'm going to go to Finrod.
I'll do the -2 thing too, since we're in melee, and use my short sword to try to hit the last. There's just one left, right? In front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 15.
That will hit.
On a D6, I rolled the 4.
Awesome. So he does not go down, but he looks like he's pretty close. So it'll be his turn, and he'll swing back at you, and he misses. So it'll go back to Gar.
Alright, Gar will chop down with his sword. And I miss again.
Yeah. So now it'll go to Grinscar.
Okay, so let's take another swing. Yeah, only 10.
Yeah, you miss. You need to get a 14. So it'll go to Finrod. Who I think.
He headbutts him.
Finrod, just in time. Your turn.
Okay. Keep dropping out all the time. I don't know what's going on. I got a 10.
And you miss as well. So now their turn. This time they're going to try to attack Grinscar, and they miss. So they'll go back to Gar.
Alright, another chop overhead. I miss again.
Damn. So yeah, this guy's probably just getting peppered with little cuts and scrapes, but yeah, no damage. So it'll go to Grinscar.
Yeah, only 3.
Damn. So yeah, Finrod.
And this is the last one in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got a 15 again. I guess my dice like certain numbers.
Oh yeah.
So I got a 15, and I rolled, wow, a 6.
Oh yeah,
For-
just enough to kill him. Yeah. Or more than
So
enough.
this little guy who's a little battered and bruised finally gets skewered by my little short sword right through the stomach like a shish kebab.
Wonderful. So yeah, he drops. So I think what I'll do, let me see. The last guy in the other room. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna end combat for now, and the three of you can, if you would walk just a little bit down from where these guys came from, you'll be at the end of that T from the first hallway, the left side of it, and to the north, which would be to the right of you, is another door that's identical to the one that's burning, and it's open. And through that, you can see the one hobgoblin guarding these two prisoners, but he's kind of like shaking. He's dropped his sword, and it looks like his will has been broken, at least momentarily. So his morale, rather.
So he's not gonna try to leverage him as hostages or anything like that. He's
pretty much given up. Yeah.
all right. I assume I picked up my bow too, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all can recover, whatever items you dropped, or the centaur's longsword, or all those things.
I'll look to Grinscar and say,
Perhaps you should interrogate him, Master Necromancer.
Which one are you talking about? The dead one?
the goblin who's like trembling in the room still. Or I could be talking about one of the hostages. I'm not really clear on the point.
So do we have access to the room now?
Yeah, you can walk into this room, and I can describe it again if y'all need. But yeah, it's open.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I will. He's not near the hostages. He's not threatening them, right? You said that he's pretty much just kind of.
Yeah, he failed a morale check when everyone else died. So he's kind of fickle. So yeah, he's dropped his sword and he's just kind of shaking and.
So
goblin.
We'll move forward, and I will lower the blade of my scythe onto his shoulder, facing his neck. Kind of push him to the floor if he's not already kneeling.
Yeah, he'll go down to his knees and just kind of look up at me.
Who are these prisoners of yours?
And he'll start spouting off things in Goblin. Do any of you guys speak Goblin by chance?
No.
I have common orc in another language that I didn't pick because I wasn't sure what was available. So I can go ahead and make it Goblin if that will work.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, he would just like spit towards you and say, "I'm telling you nothing."
I will grin at that, showing my teeth, still holding the weight of my scythe on his shoulder. I will draw the scimitar the sickle from my hip and cut off one of his ears.
Yeah, he would let out a terrible, terrible scream as he clutches his ears and blood pours out, and he'll look at you with water in his eyes and like blood running down his side, and he'll say, "Fine, Goblin, I'll tell you all. I'll tell you anything. Just don't kill me."
Well, as you can see, there's a price for every time I have to repeat a question. So I suggest you're quick with your answers. Who are your prisoners?
And he'll look back at them fast and look at you, and he'll just say, "Rodemus. Rodemus people."
And why do you hold them here?
We hold them because they hold great treasure. This is their home. And his eyes will get real big.
At that, I'll glance over my shoulder at the other two, and then turn back to him. What treasure?
Just treasure. Gurk told us treasure. And he'll look to where Gurk, the large hobgoblin, you would assume, is dead back in the hallway. He'll be trying to look for him. And I'll just say, "Gurk promised as much."
You were not surprised when we showed up. You were expecting us.
And as he says that, his eyes will move kind of behind you against the wall in between the two doors, and it will push open another stone door, and two more hobgoblins will hop out. But I'll give you a second to react, and he'll just start laughing. The one that's clutching his ear.
Well, the first thing I would turn and spin as I I'll just draw the blade across his throat if I can.
Yeah, you can.
You can turn and face the others, basically trying to end him.
Definitely, his throat will be slit. His laughing will be gargled in blood as he falls to the ground and dies.
Does this room have a table in it?
Yeah, it has a desk in one of the corners.
How heavy does it look?
Like a desk, pretty heavy.
Could I grab the desk and turn it sideways on the ground? Is that something Gar would be able to do?
Yeah, he could probably sprint across the room and yeah, he could throw the shit off and knock it down. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, in like the movies when there's like a shootout, a person like always like pulls the table down and over the top of it.
Right. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. So as you do that, let's have the three of you, assuming you're all in the room, roll initiative against these two other goblins, hobgoblins.
I got 5.
Okay.
Can you go negative on initiative?
No, we'll just say one single
So that'd be
lowest.
1.
Yeah. So 4, 5, and a 1. Okay, so we'll let the 5 go first. So Finrod. As you see these two hobgoblins come from what you assume was like a watching room, keeping eyes on the hallways, the entryway.
Okay, so I can try to hit one with my short sword, right?
Yeah, we'll say you're about, within 10 feet of them.
I got an 8. That's not good.
No, the eight does miss. But then it'll go to the 4, which is Gar, who is now torn down a table, or a desk rather.
Yep, I will stand up, or I rather kneel behind it, using it as cover, and will pull back my bow sideways like a hunter style, and plink one out at the other one that Finrod didn't attack.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that was a good roll. 21.
Oh yeah, you hit him.
Okay. Come on, big money. 1 point of damage. Or no, sorry, 2 points of damage.
Yeah, so the arrow kind of hits him, maybe gets stuck in like his thigh, but it doesn't seem to phase him too much. Then it'll go to their turn, and the one that just got hit with the arrow will. He's gonna sprint towards you, but let's say he gets to you and tries to hit, but he misses Edgar, and then the other one will try to hit Finrod. He misses wildly, and then it'll go to the one, which is Grinscar.
Okay, so kind of in the middle of the room, as the one sprints by me heading towards Gar, I will turn and attack him from behind with my scythe.
Cool.
Yeah, for 11.
And you miss. You need a 14 for reference. So it'll go back to the top at the 5 with Finrod.
We'll try it again. Let's see. And it's a 3. Boy, I suck.
The 3 does miss. But we'll say as it misses, you guys can hear footsteps coming from the entry hallway, but as of right now, you don't know what it is. You just hear like echoing. And it will go to the 4 with Gar.
Alright, Gar once again will drop the bow and pull out the sword since the goblin has close distance. And attack. That's a good roll too. So with the -2 from drawing, it'll be a 17.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I hit him for 4 points of damage.
That's enough to kill him.
So he runs to the table, comes down with he has an axe, I take it?
He has a little short sword.
Alright, so he pulls out this short sword and tries to strike me. I duck behind the table. It cleaves in the top of the wood and gets stuck. He tries to pull it a couple times and can't get it out. I pop back over the table and just slice his head off like a hot knife through butter.
Awesome. So yeah, he's definitely down. And then it will go to 4. It'll go to their turn. So the last one will try to attack Grinscar, and he misses. So yeah, it'll go to Grinscar.
Okay, so having turned and failed in attacking the goblin that was facing Gar. He sees it fall, revealing Gar behind the table. Grinskar grins and says, "Not bad, old man," as he turns and attacks the last one that closed with him. Ugh. 4.
Yep, so that is a miss. And it'll go to the top. It's Finrod.
Okay, here we go again. No way. 20, dude.
Oh yeah, you can definitely hit him. No obstructions.
I have a feeling this might end his life. Let's see here. I got a 3 for damage. Does he have any damage yet? I don't remember.
No, this one does not, but you'll see that he's very close to being done. So from the 5 it'll go to 4 to Gar.
Gar is going to jump over the table if he can. I don't know. Gar's not very agile.
Do like a climbing check. Which, honestly, let's see how to do that actually. Blah, blah, blah. Climbing. Blah, 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 blah. This says nothing about climbing. So just roll a d6, and if you get a 1, I'll say you climb successfully.
Okay, come on, big money. I'm using my tunnel and trolls dice, so if I get a 1, it'll be a skull. Shit, I got a 6, so I get up. The words of encouragement from my comrade, the necromancer, I think, "I do know many tricks. Observe!" And I'll squat and try to leap over the table I knocked over, and I'll catch my bootlace, and I will like fall on the stone and roll, dropping my weapons.
That's very fitting. So it'll go from, let's see, that was Gar. That'll go to the goblin there, and I'm just gonna say he was completely shocked and amused by Gar flying over the table and biting his ass. So he's not gonna attack. He'll just gonna laugh for this round. So it'll go to Grinskar.
21.
Yep. And you just need to roll over a 3 and you'll kill it.
So basically, as it begins to laugh at his comrade Gar, all of a sudden, as the camera zooms into his face, he goes silent, still smiling, his head rolled from his shoulder across the floor, still smiling.
Awesome. Yeah, so at that, the 2 surprise goblins from the secret watch room right there will be down. But the footsteps that you had heard initially in the combat, I guess before we get to the rest of this room, will be the new goblin, I believe, who was sent on patrol from the town guard, perhaps to check on the adventurers. So, Michael, you can go ahead and introduce the new character.
Yeah, it's called Brock, and Brock is turning around the corner. It's a female, surprisingly, with a little top knot on her head, and she looks more decent than those goblins in the ruins, so that might be a hint not to attack her immediately. And she holds up her hands. "Don't attack! Don't attack! I'm from town."
I will grab for my short sword and point it at you while I'm trembling on the ground.
"Please, please, I am here to check on you."
Grinskar will flick his scythe, clearing it of blood, as he plants the butt of it on the floor, giving a nod. "Your presence is welcome."
"Yes, I've seen you already lost a member. This is so sad."
as the flaming horse is, the flames have died down a bit, it's just kind of a smoldering centaur corpse, smoking.
Grinscar's stomach rumbles at the smell of fresh cooked meat.
Smells like chicken.
Gar will look at the smoldering wreck and turn and look at Finrod and say,
What is that? The blade, it sparkles in the heat.
and look at the magical sword left behind.
Yes. Remember, she had a magical sword. We need to keep that in mind and take it with us on our journey. Thank you so much for reminding us of that.
Yeah, Gar will get up and nod his head and say,
I think you should take this sword. She was your comrade longer than mine.
Thank you, sir. It'll be in good hands. I shall keep it for us.
Yep, easily done. So you can now add this sword, which I forgot what the bonuses were, but it's a cool sword.
It's +1 on attack and damage.
But what do you have? Do you want your sword back as your new character? Do you need it?
No.
Okay.
And yeah, we can take a quick bio break. I think Dennis is doing the same now, so we can all, if anyone needs to get up and
yeah,
use the
man.
restroom, get some.
Okay.
Sounds good
Thanks.
to me.
Yeah. How are you guys doing on time if you're all back?
I'm okay.
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
9.
What are we looking at? Another 5-6 hours?
Minimum, yeah, I was thinking maybe 12.
Cool, dude. Do a marathon.
No, I think probably at most an hour and a half or another 2, just because like the next section is pretty deep.
What's
Pretty
going
deep.
on in Louisiana, dude? You okay? You above water?
Oh yeah. We had flooding up to our backyard, like pretty freaking high, but we were kind of lucky because we're on a hill. But I mean, I got like friends and stuff that their houses were flooded and cars and stuff.
Yeah, I had a friend that had to be evacuated, and his house got all flooded, and
Yeah, it's crazy
pretty
shit.
rough.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. I really am. It's especially for you guys being in that state with the previous devastation. It's probably like very psychologically, like, you know what I
I mean,
mean?
like
Like,
everybody's kind of like we're not dumb. Like we know that like basically we're at sea level or below it, and the soil sucks here, and pretty much our infrastructure is not that great as far as like drainage and stuff. But everybody's taking it in stride. I think no one seems like negative about it. So I mean, the community's
Well,
rallying around it, helping everybody, and
that's
so it's cool.
cool.
Yeah, but yeah, like our city had kind of spaced out flooding here and there, like some bridges, some neighborhoods, some things like that. But like maybe one section of the city is actually partially underwater, but it's like a very small part. But like maybe an hour from here, like Baton Rouge and all that. I mean, around that, like I think some like serious flooding happened, like entire towns and things, and that's just nuts. But
That, I'm so sorry, but I live, where I live in LA, California. I mean, we get the earthquakes, which devastate us, but when we had our big earthquake, life went on as normal. Is this so devastating that it kind of affects normal life and the economy, you think? Or
For us, like in Lafayette, no, like we're still doing fine. Everything's pretty normal. Just have to take maybe some people take a different route to work or something, but and then there are the people that lost their homes in Lafayette. But I think like maybe Baton Rouge, some of these areas like around there, yeah, they're probably pretty affected as far as normal life. They're probably in like full recovery mode. But we're doing fine. I mean, everything's still moving here. Shops are closed for like one day, I think, last week. But I don't know. Um, but yeah, definitely appreciate the concern and things. But yeah, I guess we'll continue with Rodemus Keep. What was the last thing that y'all did? You picked up a sword. Stuff.
yeah, she came back to the party. We picked up the sword, and I don't think there's any monsters trying to kill us for
No,
once.
y'all are safe at the moment. Now in the northwest corner of the room, you do hear like gagged murmuring, like someone's like trying to get your attention.
Oh yeah, the two captive humans, right? Weren't there two captive humans in the room?
Yeah, if y'all look at them, you'll see a man and a woman, about middle age, probably in their like mid-30s or so. Well dressed and decently clean, just bound and gagged.
Well, I'd like to approach them kindly and ungag them and ask how we can help them and what their story is.
Yeah, if you ungag them, the man would look at you and he would say, "Oh, thank you so much. Just beginning to worry. That damn Dirk and his hobgoblin bastards. They've been holding us for a few days now. My wife and I." And he'll nod to the woman.
And where's the map?
Map. We don't know about a map. We came looking for our son. We disappeared, about three nights ago, before we were kidnapped by those bastard hobgoblins and spit towards the dead goblin bodies.
What's your position in the town, and who's your son?
I say, well, the town, I'm not part of the town. My name is Rodemus. This is my wife, Sarah, and I'm the last descendant of the Rodemus family, and this was our keep before the hobgoblins and orcs and bandits and things over the years have raided it. And recently we've been living in a hunting lodge not far from here. But every now and then we would come back and try to get supplies from the keep when we could. And one night we returned and found that our son was missing, so we came looking for him. And then Dirk and his men wrapped us up and held us hostage. But we're pretty sure they didn't take our son. If anything, he's hiding below in the catacombs, and probably in one of the family tombs.
So you must know the layout of this keep very well.
Oh yes, this was, like I said, it's my family's keep. We've used the catacombs before to hide from invaders. But the undead, oh, I will not go down there myself. I really do fear for my son. And at this point, the wife will be like looking kind of hysterical, and she'll say, "Yes, our boy is probably down there with the undead. Please, please, we must save him. If anything, please save our son. Please look for him."
We would need your help. If you know the catacombs greatly and you value your son's life, then you would be able to lead us. If not, then it's very possible that we will all come to demise. So if you don't value your son's life, I don't know how we're going to help you if you can't lead us through the catacombs.
Yeah, and the wife will nod to the husband, and he'll say, "Yes, I'll join you." But my wife stays. She's returning to the lodge. I don't want her to be here. But please untie us and let us get our wits about us before we do anything. And he'll motion like with his hands that are tied in front of him. He'll motion like to free him.
Well, before I untie you, my comrades might have some opinions of their own. So what do you want to do, guys?
Yeah, Gar would say,
Free them. They can do no harm.
If it comes to it, we can always kill him later.
Okay. All right, I will free you, and your wife may return to the hunting lodge, and you can guide us through the catacombs.
He nods, and his wife says, "Honestly, I don't care what comes of my husband now. Just please protect our boy. This is all that matters to me." And they'll kind of try to stand up.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, and I guess having freed them, the wife will reach into what looks to be probably like a hidden pocket inside of her blouse, and she'll pull out this necklace, and on it you'll recognize, let's see, I think it was Grinskar, who saw the dragonfly amulet on the goddess, and she'll hand it to you, saying that you're a man of magic, and she'll say, "Please take this. It's our family symbol. It's the dragonfly, and we promise you it'll keep you safe from the undead, and you must show this to our son. It's probably the only way that he'll trust you." And she'll like put it into your hands and fold your hands over it. It's like this gold necklace and chain.
We shall do what we can.
She says, "Thank you so much." And she'll lean up and kiss her husband, and then she'll start walking out. And she'll leave, and you'll be left with Arlen Rodemus.
Arlen, tell us everything you know about these catacombs. Tell us everything that will help us in an adventure before we begin.
He'll scratch his head a little bit and say, well, catacombs are quite a ways down, quite a ways below us. They're quite large. They're very old. My family rests here generations back, but we haven't been here in years, to be honest. Since the undead started coming to life, we really try to avoid that place. I don't know what awaits you down there now, but I just know my son is hiding down there. I know it. And he'll walk to the center of the room where the rug looks like a rug used to be, and he'll like tap with his foot, and it'll sound hollow, and he'll say, "Here's the secret, the trap door to where catacombs are." And he'll look at all of you. Just kind of
Okay, lead the way. Open it up.
Did we ever search the hobgoblin's corpse, the leaders?
You did not.
I'm going to skulk over and do that quickly if I have to return to the hall to do so before we push forward.
Yeah, so yeah, you can return back into the hallway, basically to where the T was at the first hallway. And on him, he has, of course, chainmail, which looks to be pretty good. He has a great axe +1, a longbow +1, and he has a note tucked away in his pocket.
Yeah, I'll take the axe and the longbow and the note.
Excellent. And the note, if you read it, would say, "Gurk, make for the abandoned Rodemus keep on the northern edges of Landcrest Wood. Once you've cleared the area, have a party find Valinan's hideout in the old ruins I've marked on the map. Have them wait there until she returns with the documents. Once the party has possession of them, have them return to the keep immediately. Once you have it, return to the tribe as soon as you can. Signed, Mirth Bloodletter."
Okay, so I'll return to the other room with the axe and the bow and say, "These seem to be of magical make. This, however, is most alarming." And I will pass the letter to them so they might read.
Do you mind reading the letter one more time, but just a little slower? I'm sorry. It was.
No.
I'm sorry.
So it says, "Gurk, make for the abandoned Rodemus keep on the northern edges of the Landcrest Wood. Once you've cleared the area, have a party find Valinan's hideout in the old ruins I've marked on the map. Have them wait there until she returns with the documents. Once the party has these documents in possession, have them return to the keep immediately. Once you have it all, return to the tribe as soon as you can. Signed, Mirth Bloodletter."
Anybody have any interpretations of this letter? I'm gathering the letter doesn't come with a map showing what he's talking about, right? It's just a letter.
Just a crudely written up letter.
Okay.
So we can assume, though, that the ruin and the keep are the two places we visited, right? Like from last game and now where we're at now.
Yeah, definitely.
And where the tribe would be, though, we're unsure. That's kind of like the missing link.
Yeah, you don't know anything about where the tribe is.
Does Bloodletter's name make any sense to us?
Yeah, he would probably be well known as like a hobgoblin warlord in the Dragonclaw Barony.
What's the guy's name, the human that we found that was tied up? I'm sorry.
Arlen?
Yeah, Arlen, do you know what this letter speaks? Can you identify any of these marks that it talks of?
And he'll glance over it and basically say the same thing, just he'll say, "Oh yes, Bloodletter, yes, he's the local warlord of the Hobgoblins. I believe Bert answers only to him."
All right, well, if everyone agrees, maybe we should venture down.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. He'll definitely agree, Gar. That is. I will give what was your character's name again, Mika? Sorry, is it Brock or Brooke? Brock. I'll give Brock the magical bow, and I'll keep the magical axe. think that way we've had it spread out, so 4 of us now have magical weapons.
Is it a short bow?
It's a longbow. Is that usable by you?
That's a good question. I
Has
think
it
it's
got
large,
one?
right?
Yeah, it's a large weapon.
Yeah, no.
Can you use a short sword or a long sword?
A short sword I could use.
If you need, I have that long sword now, the one your other character had, so I could give you my short sword if you would like. That you can use that. Will that help you out?
Is it magical? Because I've got one myself.
Oh, you already have one now. It's
Mhm.
not magical.
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem.
What was so you have a long sword? Yeah, there's no way we can make it work. What about your character, Dennis? Can you use an axe?
No.
Okay.
I'm like a magic user, so I'm limited to just a couple things, but then as a necromancer I can use the sickle and the scythe, which are pretty badass so far.
What magic do you have? Like, do you have magical weapon? I mean, like
No, I have
spells?
spells, but I already used it. You only get one a day at level 1. And
I
used
see.
it. Yep. I have cantrips, but I haven't really had need of using that yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll use the axe, the magical axe, because I don't have a magical weapon yet. I'll roll against you if you want to roll against me, Fenrod, to see who gets the bow. 'Cause I think we're the only ones that can use it.
I know, but I don't care. Seriously, I don't need to roll. I mean, you can have. I don't. It doesn't matter. I really, seriously, it's up.
It
It's
doesn't
all
matter
good,
to
dude.
it doesn't matter to me either. But I like random chance. We'll
Okay,
say
what do you
top
want to
5.
roll?
You want to just do top 5? You get it. Bottom 5, I get it. And just
What do you
roll a
want?
d10.
Oh, D10.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. Let me find my D10. Okay, so I'm rolling, and I'll tell you what I get.
All right.
I got a 9.
I got a 9 too. Let's roll again.
I got a 2.
I got a 1, so she is yours. So I will kneel down and hand the bow to you and say,
I think you should have this. My eyes are not what they used to be.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. So let's just really quick. I don't want to waste too much time. So the long sword I have is a +1, and the bow is a +1 now.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I need to know. There's nothing other special things I need to know about them.
No.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
I just have one question too, Marcus. What's the damage on the X?
The Great X. Let's see. It's Great X +1. It should be 1d10 +1.
Okay, so I'm gonna ditch the short sword and use the axe now.
Oh yeah.
And what about the long sword I have? I only got a short sword. Is that a... What do I roll for that?
I think it's a d8. You want to check?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, d8. Yeah. So,
All right, cool.
okay, so do y'all want to have Arlen open the trapdoor?
Yep, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. So, yeah, he would open this trapdoor, and it would lead to a spiral staircase that has torch sconces in it, and none of the ones at the top are lit, but as you guys walk down quite a ways, you're not quite sure how deep it is, but you walk for, let's say, 5 or so minutes downwards. It's pretty far. And it's dark. But Arlen seems to know his way, and as it gets closer to the bottom, to the torch sconces have torchlight, but every other one is green. Some are yellow, normal flames, but every other one is green. So it's making quite a weird glow. And you get to the bottom, and it opens up into a foyer. This looks like quite an old design. This looks like it's a very, very old place. You can only guess it's the catacombs. The ground is smooth granite, and the walls are smooth granite as well. And as you all enter this foyer, the bottom of the stairs, against the south wall, looks like some kind of stone altar. And the room kind of has a smell of old incense and death lingering. And then across the way, there's a hall leading off to the west, but it's pretty small. Looks like only, single file line would be able to pass through it. When you get down there, Arlen just says, it's been much too long since I've been here, and it smells of evil.
Arlen, what's with the green magical lights on the stairs?
He'll look at it, and you can see that he's kind of horrified by it, and he'll say, honestly, I have no idea. Last time we were here, there was no light. We had to bring our own lanterns and torches. But I can only suspect that it has something to do with the undead.
Would Grenskar know anything about it?
Just what I was thinking.
Being a necromancer, let's say that he would, absolutely. He would know that there's probably a wraith somewhere nearby causing this kind of distortion to the torches.
So when they ask the man the question, then he responds. I remain silent for a minute as I study the light. I reach my hand out to it, not quite touching it as I pass my hand around it. And I turn to the others. It is an ill sign. It means we are likely to run into a wraith.
Would you also know? No, I'll do this in character.
Wraiths, are those the beasts that can only be damaged by silver, or will a magic weapon fell them as well?
Hoping that Grinskar knows such diablerie and.
Would I have such knowledge?
Let's see what it says about the wraith. I believe that only magic weapons and spells and things would be able to harm it.
So like a magic longsword or a magic longbow?
Exactly.
Do the arrows have to be magic?
No, we'll say that the longbow imbues something.
Okay.
While they are talking, Brock wheels herself to the front and starts looking for traps. Because she heard of the other goblin's demise.
Yeah, she was searching around this room, this foyer entryway. She wouldn't find any traps.
Good.
Appears to be safe.
And I have a look at the altar.
Yeah, the altar just has quite a bit of dust, but also some ash on it in a bowl, and let's say 10 gold pieces of an offering, perhaps. There's also incense sticks scattered about, and it smells terrible.
Ooh, an offering to me. And she puts the gold into her pouch.
Awesome.
Mika, you have your audio reversed. Your other camera is giving you audio, but the camera that's on you is muted.
Yeah, I can't help it. I've got some issues here with my headset. I can turn off my camera, of course, but...
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just wondering if you were doing it intentionally.
Yeah, no.
Can we ask the guy, what's his name again? Fuck, I'm so sorry. The guy with us?
Arlen. Here, I'll put it in the chat too. Yeah, Arlen Rodemus.
Which way does this chamber open up?
Just like a single file sized hallway to the west in the like northwest corner of this chamber.
I'll look at the goblin then and say, "Come back. Let us scout ahead."
Yeah, she does.
What can our human tell us about this chamber? He should know, right?
He'll look at the chamber and say, "Oh, this was just an old offering room. It appears to have been tainted, though." And he'll walk over and like look at the ashes in the bowl.
So where do you suggest we search for your son?
I'm not quite sure. Perhaps in the one of the halls where my ancestors are resting. If I had to garner a guess. Just point towards the northwest passageway, and he'll say, "But that is the only way into the rest of the catacombs."
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll look to the goblin.
Sorry, do you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
perfect.
Yeah, she goes up front.
Cool. So you would go to this hallway, and it's like I said, it's pretty narrow, so you'd have to be single file as a party. And just 20 feet out of it, there's a long, dark hallway to your left with the flickering green lights of these torches going down, basically as far as you can see, maybe 100 or so feet, if not more. And then if you continue to the west in front of you, it'll keep going again very far, but just to your right, there looks like there's an alcove with a doorway, and that is what you see.
I stop there and look for traps.
So let me see. You can go ahead and roll if you want.
I'm allowed to know.
What's your clear, a thief? What did you roll?
Wait, I didn't actually roll. 98. Nope.
Okay, so you don't detect anything, just this door in this little alcove to your right.
I open it.
Cool. And yeah, as you open it, looks like it's a burial chamber. Looks kind of like a royal burial chamber, if you had to guess. It looks kind of the remains of, there's lots of like really nice marble statues and things. And you see, let's see, the remains are entered in ceremonial armor, sitting on top of this large coffin, just this old body with the ceremonial armor on it. It's on this huge marble slab. On the wall, it looks like scrawled in blood, it says "Protect the boy," and then there's a ghoul sitting back by there.
There's a what sitting back by there?
A ghoul. A scary
I jump
ghoul.
back.
I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna go into the room with my great axe drawn. But I'm gonna look at the ceiling as I approach to see if there's any type of like rigged trap. Like if there's obviously like an arrow hole or arrow slits or something like that.
Roll a d6 for me, and I'll let you know.
Okay. I got a 6. No.
Yeah, so you walk in, and all you see is this ghoul who's now standing up close to the words "Protect the boy" in blood. Or it's written in blood.
Shit. Okay, I'm going to be cautious anyways, I guess. How big is the lid of the battle axe, would you say? Like, how much metal is there?
Quite a bit. I guess your standard battle axe size, pretty large.
If I approach the ghoul with it over my head, could I give like at least the top of my head some protection from any sort of falling rock or projectile?
Yeah, definitely. So you want to go
Okay.
ahead and walk forward?
Yep, I'm going to. All caution to the wind. I think it's safe.
Okay, well, as you step, your first step into the room, the floor below you does give way, and you do fall about 20 feet down. So,
Ouch.
Throw caution to the wind.
but I'll let you do a save versus death ray and add a dex bonus or penalty to see if you actually fall into it.
Let's see. My save versus death ray is 12, so come on. I got a 12 plus 1, so a 13.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say you managed to gracefully hop away from it as the first piece of the floor right by the doorway caves in.
Whoa! Whoa! I'll like throw the battle axe back and catch it in the door frame and kind of like wean out over the pit as like a few small stones kick into it.
Awesome. Yeah, and the pit's probably, we'll say, like just wide enough for like a single person to fall into, so you could, hop over it or just, abandon. But 20 feet down, you do see a bunch of spikes sticking up with like dried blood and maybe some like tattered cloth and things.
I will look down there and I'll look back at the goblin and raise both of my eyebrows and then attempt to jump over it.
Brock shrugs. Sorry?
Yeah, you can. You'll be able to jump over it, no problem. But as you do, I'll go ahead and roll initiative because this ghoul will be heading towards you, albeit slowly. So he rolls it too. Okay. So yeah, y'all can all roll up initiative.
3.
Okay, cool. Cigar, you can go first as you hop over this pit.
Awesome. I'm going to run forward and try to chop this ghoul in half.
Okay, excellent. And just for reference, he is how far? Yeah, only about 20 feet away. It's a pretty small room. It's like a 30 by 20 room.
All right. 16.
Oh yeah, you get him.
9 points of damage.
And that's exactly enough to kill him.
Yeah, so jumping over the pit, I will run up, like, foot plant off of one of these stone caskets and jump down and just slice him in half from the crown of the head to the groin.
Oh yeah, and all this rotted flesh and things just splits like butter as your axe finds the marble floor, or granite floor below.
When the axe hits the floor, I'll feel the vibrations go through my fingers all the way up into my elbows, and it'll shake the shit out of me.
Excellent. Yep. And with that, combat's ended. So yeah, y'all can continue.
I start searching the room.
Nice. So, yeah, so basically what you gather, this is like a royal burial chamber. There is armor on top of, like, some bones on top of the marble slab in the center of the room, although it looks pretty worthless. However, in one of his hands is clutched a short sword that you can tell is probably magical. It's very finely made. And then in his other hand is a beautiful comb, and it's made in the shape of a dragonfly. You can tell that that's probably very expensive of an item.
A comb.
Yeah.
Like hair.
Like a hairbrush.
Okay.
A very nice one.
Okay. She puts it into her top knot and takes the sword. Ooh, may I keep? May I keep?
Yeah, and you would, if you picked it up, it's like this beautiful short sword, and it is a short sword +1. It's like slightly magical.
Good.
Yeah. And the comb, yeah, it's
Gar
probably.
nods.
Oh yeah. And the comb you would garner is probably worth about 500 gold pieces. Being a thief, you would be able to like appraise it.
Oh, isn't worth much. I will keep it on my head to attract nice goblin for me.
Beautiful. So now you have this beautiful dragonfly-shaped comb in your hair. Your top knot. But aside from that, there's nothing in there. Nothing adventurous, just craft scattered around, broken things, pots and stuff.
Can I search for secret doors?
Yeah. But I will say, I know he hopped out there on accident or whatever, disconnected, but there are no secret doors in this room. It's just a 20 by 30 burial chamber.
Gar will say then,
Shall we move on?
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. So can I?
Good. Yeah. I'll just say there's no secret doors. Like, I would be able to get at that. Yeah.
Okay.
Brock will walk out of the room then, and we'll start looking for traps again.
Cool. Yeah, so if you walk out, y'all came from the east, and again, kind of close by to your east where you came from, there was a hallway going south, but if you continue west, there's another hallway eventually going south as well. And then the hallway continues west a ways more before it breaks off to the left. So you have a few options.
Brock looks back. Right too.
which way smells the worst?
You picked up any scent, perhaps from the south, which would be downwards, like if you're coming, or if you walked back the way you came, it would be to your right. If you walk the opposite way, it'd be to your left.
Yeah, he'll inform her and say,
If it smells worse down there, there's probably more rotting flesh.
Ooh, I prefer chicken, but if you want, and she follows his direction. Constantly looking for traps.
So you're gonna head, I guess, further west, and then south.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, cool. So whenever you take the hallway to the left, towards the south, you'll get about 20 feet, and there is a door to your left, and then the hallway continues further south, quite a ways, probably hundreds, probably about 80 feet before it branches off a couple ways.
I stop at the door and yeah, I check for traps. I've got a +10 bonus, by the way.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead and roll.
Nope. Everything is fine.
Yeah,
I
so
open the door.
Yeah, you assess that everything's perfect as you open this this door, and it opens up into what you assume, and what Arlen would probably back up, is another burial chamber. And it looks like recently it's been disturbed. There's 6 stone coffins along the north and south wall, which would be your left and right. It looks like they've been opened, and there's pieces of bone and tattered clothing along the floor. Above the coffins on both walls hang some mildewed tapestries, their fabric faded and ripped. And there's a door on the opposite side, presumably leading into the hallway that you had seen earlier.
Okay. Oh, this is disappointing. And she turns around and goes back into the hallway, continuing to go for the bad smell.
Awesome. So you want to continue, I guess, southwards, yeah?
Hmm.
Well,
Alright.
there's an opposite door in there, though, right?
But didn't you say it goes back to the other hallway?
Yeah, you would assume just from like the distance that you walked to get to this door and stuff that it would probably go to the southward hall that you had seen earlier when you exited the foyer.
Okay.
Kind of like this is just like a chunk in between these two hallways.
Oh, wait one sec, though. I want to go down there, or go in the room, and pull down those tapestries and see if there's anything behind them.
Awesome. So, go ahead and make a save versus death ray and add your dex bonus.
Well done.
You know, you are the absolute worst rogue in the history of rogues.
I wanted to continue. Don't go strolling.
This is a plus dex on this also?
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, yeah, 18.
Okay, yeah, so you pass. So again, as you step in, another pit trap opens up, going 20 feet below you, showing more spikes below you.
This time I'm just going to jump over the trap, and I'll land on the other side of it, and I'll turn around and say, "From now on, when you investigate traps, start with the floor."
Brock peeks around the corner because she's already been back to the hallway. What are you doing there still inside? You're supposed to follow me.
I think you knew that your search had failed and you said nothing.
No, I just didn't look there. Mm-mm.
He furrows his brows at you.
I don't know you so well. My eyes are on you. You hear? On you!
Yes! No, come on.
He'll get up and go to the tapestries now. I'm pulling those tapestries down.
Yeah, you can. They come down pretty easily because they're all torn up and stuff. They look like they had dragonflies on them and things. But as you do pull, a pretty decent size snake does come out from behind one of them. So everyone roll initiative as this like hissing snake, all black snake lunges.
I got a 4. You fucked it up, dude. You fucked it up, dude.
5.
6.
So, who had the 4? Finrod?
Yeah, I got the 4.
Okay, that's 6. 4, and then 1 for Grinscar. Okay, and the snake had a 5. So the 6 will go first. So Gar, you can react as this pretty decent sized snake lunges forward at you.
Alright, I'm gonna try to cut him in half.
Awesome.
So plus 1 plus. It'd be 12.
No, that actually doesn't hit. But you need a 13 to hit, for what it's worth.
So I bring the axe down and it just ching as it smacks into the rock.
Yeah, and the snake will kind of land at your feet there as it happens. And then it'll go to, we'll say, Brock's turn.
As she hears the sounds, because she's been, again, back into the hallway, waiting, she runs around the corner, swinging her new short sword, and starts attacking. 15
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
and 4.
And, oh yeah, that actually kills it. So you can describe how you kill this blasted snake.
She drives the blade into its head, and while doing that, looking up to the old man, "You stay with me now, please."
He's gonna shake his head and say,
You have lost all credibility. We will investigate what's in this room, and you will like it.
I will like it.
He's gonna walk over and start looking in the caskets.
You've seen Alien, right? You know what happens when you look in shit, dude. You're gonna fuck it up again.
If anything, you'll find just 50 gold pieces worth of trinkets and little odds and ends, rings and things, but nothing else really, aside from bones and decayed flesh and things. The smell of death.
Okay,
You risk
so
your life for only the shit, you know?
I am here to investigate, not to be a coward.
he will scoop up the money and put it in his own pocket and smile.
Excellent. 50 gold pieces richer and probably blood pressure climbing. And so the rest of this room, it's pretty just decrepit. There's not much else in there. Again, there's a door on the far side, the east wall. Aside from that,
Why don't we ask our human guide what's in that through that door?
yeah, he would come in after the snake was killed, and he would hop over the pit trap, and he'll say, "Oh yes, this is just one of the larger burial chambers. Some of the lower families were placed here. It's not my family's bones." And he'll kind of look around, and he'll say, "Oh, the other door that just leads to the an opposite hallway. I believe we passed it. And through that, if we go that way, it'll go to another burial chamber. Aside from that, a dead end."
When he walked in and jumped over the pit, did he look at the pit or did he act like he knew it was there?
It's a good question. Let's see his motive. Yeah, no, he looked down and he hopped over.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching him though. I have suspicions.
Awesome. Yeah, so he would just explain that that east doorway would enter into another hallway that would go southwards, go down, and there's another burial chamber down there before reaching a dead end.
I look up at Gar. Did I like it enough now? Can we leave?
Yeah, he'll slowly nod his head and say,
Lead on, Master Burglar.
You know you can grab my top knot, so I always know you're there.
he'll slowly shake his head and say,
No, that is fine. Proceed.
She nods and she proceeds.
Which way do you want to go? You want to go back out the way you came in, or do you want to go through the new door?
No, the where we came in.
Okay, cool. So you don't want to go to that other burial chamber. Alright, so you're back in
Do
the...
we?
Well, I don't know.
Do we want to check that other room?
I would say yes, we're already down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
She turns around and goes for the new door. I check for traps. Perfectly fine. I open the door.
Yeah, so as you open this door that Arlen had said was a burial chamber, you see quite a bit of coffins immediately in front of you, like the north wall, like to your right. And then to the left you see more coffins. But as you're looking inside, you sense something moving pretty fast, and it's this... You can't quite see what it is just yet, but something has moved into the shadows there. And I'll give you guys a minute to react.
I put my hand on the goblin's shoulder and say,
Now, how about we let our human friend go first?
and I'll pull him back and I'm going to look at the guy that we untied up above. The Lord, the so-called Lord.
Yeah, Arlen
idea.
Arlen would say, Like you could see that he's kind of sweating a bit, and he'll say, "Oh, I suppose I could check it out." And as he walks in, let's see what exactly happens. Yep. So Arlen is attacked by none other than a wraith, and as it attacks him, he screams out basically that this wraith is wearing the robes of the Rodemus clan, but it doesn't appear to recognize him, and it does some damage to him. Ah, shit. Oh yeah, so it hits him, and he's kind of wounded. But aside from that, everybody can roll initiative as this wraith attacks Arlen Rodemus. So 7 for Brock.
I got 3.
3 and a 3 and a 1. Cool. And so yeah, Brock, you can act first as you see this wraith attack Arlen.
Yeah, oh, damn it. So we know it's only hittable by magic weapons, right?
Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll attack it. Natural 20 and 5 damage.
Excellent. So yeah, you do hit it, but this like corporeal, cloaked, hooded form of darkness basically shrugs it off more or less as you hit it. But it will go to the 3s.
But it was my magical short sword.
Yeah, so it definitely did some damage to it. Like, it shrugged off the damage, as in, like, it didn't appear to wound it too bad, but yeah, it did wound it. Absolutely, yeah. And then it'll go to Finrod.
I got the +1 longsword special thing, right?
Yeah, and the bow, I believe, so you could do either if you wanted to.
I'll do the sword. And I got a 1.
So yeah, you absolutely missed, and let's say you do hit Brock in the darkness and from the fright of the wraith. So roll some damage on her.
Dude, you want me to have to go see a therapist after this game?
I know, God.
So am I rolling, what do I roll, a D8? That's what I'm supposed to roll.
D8 plus 1.
Yeah.
I used to, alright.
Shit.
You may roll low, please.
Well, Brock, what's your armor class? I don't think I actually had that. I was just assuming it was
13.
Oh, well, you're actually lucky, because it had rolled a 12, and I thought that your armor class was still 12 for your other character. So we'll say that you miss. So
okay, I only
got lucky with that one.
I only rolled a 2 anyway, I swear to God. But
Excellent. So,
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You got lucky there. So from there, it'll go to, let's see, Gar's turn, the other 3.
Oh yeah, I'm going to attack with my battle axe. Oops, that's a 1. No, I'm just kidding.
Another goblin down.
That's crap. 8.
Yeah, the 8 will miss. For what it's worth, you're looking for a 15. Now it'll go to its turn. It rolled a 2, so it's going to try to attack you, Gar, since you were the last to attack it. And it rolls a 3, so it does miss. That's, I guess, touching damage. So now to go to the 1 at Grinscar.
As I can't really do anything against it, I'm going to just kind of back away. Try not to get in the way.
Yeah, probably a smart move. Scary Wraith here. So, it'll go back up to the top at the 7 with Brock, who you narrowly avoided probably demise.
I already felt it. I attack again. Is it facing Gar?
Yeah. So
Okay,
you can have the +2 or whatever it was. Yeah.
Good. Oh shit. A 1.
This time, I'll just say perhaps you fumble your weapon there and maybe have to pick it up next turn or something.
Thanks.
We'll go easy with the damage rolls. So it'll go from the 7 to the next 3, I believe, is Finrod.
Okay. Oh man, I don't. Is there any way I can move so I don't kill anybody in my party, like while I'm trying to hit this wraith? Like, can I turn my body? Can I say a prayer? Can I jump up and down? Can
You
I?
can only hit us if you fumble, really.
Yeah, you can get to one of the sides of it where no one is, and you'll have probably a decent shot of not attacking one of your.
Okay, because
One of
I
your
don't
friends.
want to kill anybody that's my friend. Because I got a 2 this time, so I guess next time I'll get a 3 since I got a 1 last time.
Yeah, just working your way up. It's good. So yeah, next we'll go to its turn. No, Gar. Excuse me.
Alright, another attack with the X. 18, so that'll hit.
Oh yeah, definitely hit.
That's my +1 great X. 10 points of damage.
Oh, you do some serious damage to this wraith as it lets out a terrible screech, and
So it's screaming at me. I just start screaming at it.
and it won't stop. It'll just pick up its intensity as it definitely is feeling this blow has rocked it. So it'll take its turn and it'll try to attack you. It'll try to reach out and grab you, and rolls an 11, so it does not touch you. And now it goes to Gar. You may be muted. Not Gar. Did I say Gar? I meant Grinscar. Ooh, my bad.
So having some distance now, I'm just going to try to scan our surroundings. I don't know, see if I can find anything useful or anything of note. Or the others that are engaged in this wraith.
Yeah, you'd be able to count the coffins. You would count 6 against the north wall, which would be to your right when you enter. There'd be 3 coffins against the south wall, and there'd be 3 more coffins just kind of randomly scattered about closer to the west door, which is the opposite side. The west side of the room, excuse me, there's no door. Aside from that, you can't really see much else.
You said that there's another door?
I said there was a door on the west, but I meant to say south. If you're walking into the room, the door would be to your left.
And can I get to it without passing by the wraith?
Yeah, we'll say the wraith is caught up enough with the other combatants, and you could move. It's about 60 feet away.
So I'll start moving towards it.
Awesome.
Moving over, not getting close to the wraith when I do.
Very good. So to go back up to Brock.
Okay, attack again. Facing Gar still? The right?
Oh yeah, screaming at him.
No. 11.
So it does miss, but thankfully not fumble there or anything.
Yeah.
So it'll go to Finrod.
I'll try again. Close, didn't get a 3, got a 5, but I'm getting higher.
Not bad. It will go to Gar now.
Alright, come on, magic dice. Give me something good. Oh, yeah, 21.
Oh yeah, definitely does some damage.
Dark rolling necromancy. I'm like channeling all your guys' rolls. Stealing the luck from you. 8 points of damage.
Oh
Really
yeah,
do.
you can describe how you fell this nasty wraith.
So my first cut comes down and like catches. Well, in my mind, I'm imagining this thing looks like floating black bandages or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like covered in like a hooded cloak kind of deal.
All right, so my first big axe swing goes down and catches the bottom of this like wrap/robe and wraps it around the head, and then I slash back up and tear it off of him, and you see like a bunch of like black-looking bugs like wither into the air, and like the screech explodes, and just like ectoplasm and like nasty undead goo goes everywhere all over the floor.
Yeah, we'll say that whenever you fell the wraith, the green torchlight like flickers and becomes like normal again as he's dispelled.
Yeah, so I'm screaming, he's screaming.
And Brock is
Finally.
screaming.
Everybody's screaming.
Very cool. Yep, so y'all are out of combat. Go free to check the room, search around. And Dennis, you could definitely go open that south side door if you wanted.
Well, now that it's dispatched, I'll wait for us to take stock of this room before I invite more trouble.
Yeah, I check for traps.
Perfectly fine.
Oh yeah,
Proceed.
it's a beautifully, wonderfully safe, perfect room.
Yes.
So,
And I searched the room.
yeah, so if you search, we'll say maybe you open up some of the coffins and stuff. There's like 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 12 coffins in total if y'all search through them. First, if the first thing you would find would be 300 gold pieces in one of the coffins. You'd find a piece of lapis lazuli, which is only worth about 10 gold pieces. You'd find a white pearl, which is worth 110 gold pieces. In one of the coffins, you'd find a statuette of a woman, which is worth 90 gold pieces. And then you would find 2 magical scrolls.
Ooh, that was worth the trouble. I pass over the scrolls to Grimscar. Maybe you got some use for this. You haven't been very helpful in this fight, you know.
I raise an eyebrow and show my teeth as I take the scrolls and give them a read.
Yep, one of them is Hold Undead, which is basically works like the Hold Person spell, except that it only works against undead creatures. And then the second one is Protection from Undead, which creates a 10-foot radius protective circle around the reader, preventing undead creatures from entering.
Now, does Hold Person and Hold Undead and BR in a basic fantasy role-playing game work where you can use it against one or a group at a harder save?
I would think it has to do with the group, but I can check. Let me see.
Because I know sometimes, depending on the iteration of the game, like you can cast on multiple undead, and
Right.
it's like easier for them to pass the saving throw.
Let's see. This one goes single person. Yeah, it could be at a group. 1d4 the creatures in the group. Yeah. So the spell can be cast at a single person who makes his or her save at a -2, or at a group.
So it's back where it's like really powerful, like an amazing spell.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But this one only works against undead creatures. But yeah, so that's all what you find.
Okay,
What does the
now,
human leader? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, does our human leader have anything to say about this room?
Yeah, he'll be clutching his side because he was wounded from the by the wraith initially, and he'll kind of be hiding off in the corner. He'll just say, "This appears to be at least one of the sources of some of the dark sorcery in this place, and I wasn't here when we were down here, but it's definitely one of my ancestors. I don't think he recognized me."
No shit. And she goes back to the hallway. Finally.
Yeah, so you'd be safely back out in that the hallway you came from, I assume. Now, I have a proposition for you guys, out of character. We can break here. It might be a good place to break, because this is probably like a quarter of the catacombs more or less explored. Not even, I don't know, maybe. So we could break here and like set it up for a third session if y'all want, or y'all can continue. It's completely up to y'all. I'll let you guys vote on it.
My preference would be for a third session. Like, personally, I prefer like 2 to 3 hour games. Like, that's my hotspot for productivity.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. We're at about 3.5 almost. So
I'm good with that.
that's awesome. Yeah, because this would be a good place to leave it off actually, because that was a pretty powerful wraith y'all killed. Y'all actually got kind of lucky with it. So, and that's kind of in the beginning of the catacombs too. So. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it off there, and we'll continue it, I guess, next week sometime, or 2 weeks, whenever. So if y'all want to give maybe a brief, like, description of what your characters would do while waiting, or, like, before we leave it off, rather.
Gar would be, like, sitting down on the stone, panting heavily with his heart busting out of his leather tunic because he's old and he's really whipped up quite the frenzy.
I guess Finrod would just be sitting around being a silly elf, maybe eating some silly elven food and just, I don't know, being goofy.
Awesome.
Grinskar would be studying his new scrolls with great interest.
And Brock is searching the hallway. She really wants to proceed, and nobody lets her.
Yeah, we'll say perhaps you guys decide to go back to that foyer there and kind of rest up a bit. And yeah, so that's where we'll close this week's session. I'll go ahead and kill the broadcast.